You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com. Come pillage with us. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at CreativeMediaMonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler. What's up, Che?
Hey, man. The season has started.
We got football.
The season started, bro.
We have kickoff.
Yes, we had a kickoff. We had multiple kickoffs because we scored some points.
We did. We didn't score as many as the Viking did against the Broncos.
No, we didn't.
They put up like 42 in the preseason.
Yeah.
The Vikings fans are feeling really good right now.
Every single one of their quarterbacks rated like off the charts, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see Denver in prime form, ready to start the season. They're looking real good right now. I'm really excited about how Denver looks.
Yeah, I'm really
right
excited.
now.
I'm really excited about it too.
I know the preseason doesn't matter much, but I'm very excited.
I feel good about it.
I'm half excited. It's kind of bittersweet to announce we have left the Out of Pocket Sports Network.
Yeah,
and about 20 minutes later, the network disbanded.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is all part of a bigger opportunity coming our way.
Yes, it is.
We are going to be joining a new network.
Yes.
And you will see or hear some familiar voices on that network.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that. Everyone that's on Out of Pocket, I should say, I believe they're going to continue to podcast.
Right.
Where you can find them should still be where you're finding them now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say too much else about that because I'm not going to speak for them. I don't know what choices they're going to make, what they're going to do.
Right.
But I'm sure the Phils are still going to be podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're listening to, I think it's Horned Soldiers.
Yeah.
Right. The Vikings podcast.
I think so.
If you're listening to that, I don't know why you're listening to this.
Right. I don't know.
But Justin puts on a good show. So if you happen to be listening to both, maybe just like NFL podcasts, you could probably still find them. I would just find these guys on Twitter if you're looking for their show and you're a little bit concerned. Just hit them up if they haven't already told you already. And then I know there's an MMA show on there. I'm not an MMA guy. I know you're an MMA.
I'm MMA. Yeah, that's my shit. MMA.
You're into that.
Yeah.
So I'll watch the big fights. But also, shirts are in.
Yes, they are.
You're sporting one right now.
If you're on YouTube, you're getting a nice preview, a glimpse of what could be yours.
Yes.
So
as of right now, somebody hit me up. They're all, where can I buy the shirts? And they were in my trunk at the time.
From Che and Kenny. That's what.
Yeah.
Come find us.
You can buy them straight from us. We will be having those available at the Monday night opener. We'll be out there in D lot and A lot, so you can find us out there. We will be selling the shirts hand to hand, basically. For now, we are working on getting them online. I will let you know when that happens. You can just check our Twitter account or check the webpage at Pillage, just the number 4 fun on Twitter. Also, the Pillaging Podcast on Instagram. We'll make an announcement there. Mm-hmm. And make sure you're following Creative Media Monterey on Instagram. They're also on there. I'm sure they'll give an update if they do. And if they're going to host them online for us again this year. And also PJ4F.com, the website.
That's right.
And I got to say, I didn't plug this too much in the off season because it gets, it's the doldrums and we run out of things to talk about. We kind of get off topic there.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as when we get off topic on the podcast, depending on what your definition of excitement is.
Right.
But there is always lively conversation at PJ4F.com.
Always.
So you just go to the website, click on the last post. It's always the top post. Lately, it's just been the podcast. We haven't had any written content up in a while, but we'll get that soon. And then just scroll down in the comment section.
Yep.
You'll need a Discuss profile to log in. That's really easy to do. I think it lets you create one with your Facebook login if you have that. I use my Google login, I think, to get in there. So, it's not the Pillaging login. I'm not going to tell you to try to hack my account. It's another login, but it is a Gmail account that I do own and operate. And then just jump right in. You can set your profile picture. If not, we got the default profile picture for you. You will recognize it when you see it. Just jump in, man. Introduce yourself. Several people will accuse you of being someone else. Ignore that and sally forth, as it were. But come in, man. If you're not, if you're on Twitter, but you look for more conversation, we welcome you. Facebook, I've seen lately, gets pretty dramatic. I talk about that Civil War in Raider Nation.
That's right.
It's alive on Facebook, man.
Yeah.
That Civil War is on Facebook right now, tonight.
It's a good thing I stick to Twitter and Instagram, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Instagram could be a little bit, I feel, clunky for conversation.
Yeah. It's definitely not a platform for conversation.
Just come on over to pj4f.com. It's quick, it's fast, and it's immediate, man. The conversation's right there. We got guys that are literally in there all day while they're in the office. We got guys that are retired, and we got an AM crew, we got the afternoon crew, and then there's a night crew. So there's folks in there at all time. There's rotating shifts and whatnot. So looks like we're not getting audio. So let me fix that really quick. That should be a fix for it. So thank you very much, Cain, and the other 7 people that just hit me up and let me know. We're good now. We're good. That was just me. That was just a box I forgot to check. And I did not mute my YouTube. So off to a good start so far this week. I don't think that bled through. Those of you just listening, you don't know what I'm talking about. Just pretend like nothing happened. Yeah.
Hey, it's one of those days.
A lot of T's to cross.
Just one of them days.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not ready for the preseason, but the Raiders were. So with that said, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Raiders squared off against the Detroit Lions on Friday night, prevailing by 6 points in the 10-16 victory. I tell my dad this all the time. Dad, don't pay attention to the scoreboard. But it feels good to get a W regardless.
Always feels good to get a W, man. You want to get a W. You don't want to get L's, that's for sure.
No,
right?
No, you don't. But the year we went to the Super Bowl, we won 0 preseason games.
That's what you brought that up a couple podcasts ago, and I didn't know what to say to that. I was like, I'm not sure about that because I don't remember that. Maybe it's because I just compartmentalized and said, let's forget about that. We went to the Super Bowl.
So, right? I mean, a lot of times these coaches are looking at getting the team into situations and just seeing how they manage those situations. And that situation isn't always getting into the end zone at that time.
That's right.
They're looking at different fronts, different personnel groups, and they may go 3 and out just to see a couple things. Mm-hmm. If they pick up the first down. Obviously, that's the goal. I'm not going to say they're not trying to get first downs, but, they're just taking looks out there.
Right.
So, yeah. This officially marked the return of John Gruden to the sideline.
That's right.
He was every bit the part of Chucky that we
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
If you don't believe me, just go to the Marshawn Lynch 60-yarder and the penalty that ensued.
I think everybody was making the Chucky face at that point.
Facts.
Facts.
Big facts. Yeah. But, yeah, man, it was good to see John on the sideline. How'd you feel about that?
Dude, it's nostalgic, right? But it's also like, damn, like you finally feel like, yes, we're headed. We're heading in the right direction. It just felt good to see him there, man. Like, see him pacing up and down the sidelines.
Yeah.
Just fucking, he's muttering all kinds of shit to himself, right? Just like, God damn it, we should have made that block, blah, blah, fuck that. And you know what I mean? Because he's a maniac like that. So I felt good about it. You didn't have no, like, hey, good job, guys. High five.
Yeah.
JDR
good.
style.
Yeah. It finally felt like we are no longer asleep at the wheel.
That's right.
I'll say that.
That's right.
At certain parts of the game, I felt like he never left. I had to pinch myself and be like, oh, yeah, he's back. He's back. He hasn't been here the whole time.
He hasn't been here. So, he hasn't been in the league for 10 years. He hasn't been here for even longer, man. So
we can say it now. Welcome back, Chucky, man.
Hell yeah. Welcome back, Chucky.
Plenty of packages and fronts on both sides of the ball.
That's right.
Mixing it up very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Saw John putting in some 3 tight end, some jumbo package. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of work from the fullback.
Yep.
Multiple running back sets, bunches, wideouts.
Yep.
Stats.
2 tight end sets. All kinds of good stuff, man. Everything that we kept praying and asking for last season, right?
Yeah.
And this is only preseason.
That's it.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
This is the vanilla time.
This is the vanilla shake right here.
Like somebody said, I can't wait until all 30, the rest of the 31 flavors are on the board.
That's right.
Is it 32 flavors?
I don't know. I don't go to Baskin Robbins.
Maybe it's the remaining 30 flavors. I think it's 31 flavors.
Okay.
I don't know. I stick to 2.
There you go.
Over there. But yeah.
You go in there, you ask for samples.
Yeah.
You ask for like every sample, right? And then you just get the plain old motherfucking ice cream you get all the fucking time.
Every time.
Every time.
I get the little mini spoons.
You know what? Let me try that one today. I think I'll just go with Rocky Road.
I wonder what's going on. The internal monologue of the Baskin Robbins employee. Like, God damn it, you do that every single time.
You know how many spoons I threw away today?
You know damn well what you're going to eat. Yeah.
Stop fucking with my little spoons.
They're having daydreams of just cramming that little spoon down your throat. How can I choke with this spoon? All right. Marshawn Lynch still has speed. He's fast.
You're damn right.
He's got burst.
He's got burst.
Just a shout out to you guys on YouTube. We do have connectivity issues this week. Still haven't rectified that. I've been out of the studio all week, so bear with us. There's going to be some buffering. Chill out, man.
It's hot.
It's time to go get another beer when the video pauses.
There you go.
That's how you're going to do it.
Hey, do a shot game. Every time the video pauses, take a shot.
Bro, you're going to kill people.
If you want to have fun.
PJ Hall records his first pro sack.
He did.
So you were at the game.
Yes, I was.
Did you jump out of your seat?
Man.
You weren't even in your seat. What am I asking? You weren't in your seat.
I wasn't in my seat.
You were standing up already.
No, you know what, man? We got there and there was the fans around us were a little mundane. Mm-hmm. They were all sitting down. Mm-hmm. So I was doing a lot of shouting from my seat. And there was like little kids there too, so I didn't want to get too aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what happened last time we went to preseason? There was a little kid. Parents got a little afraid and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, man, I'm just showing kids how to be a real fan out here.
You yelled at them. You're like, I work with kids.
Like, somebody needs to see about that. They need to check on that.
Do I look like a violent person?
What the hell's wrong with you? No, so I started off that way, man. But as soon as it started to clear out a little bit, some of the guys kind of, and then me and my brother went full. Towards the end, for sure, right? Those fourth downs, we were in full regular season mode, bro. There was a Lions fan sitting on my back shoulder, and I could see him getting nervous because I hadn't messed with him all game long. He's like, oh, no, this dude's getting pumped up right now. He snuck out of there real good.
Yeah. He pulled the Barry Sanders out the seat, a little spin, a little jukey.
He did a little juke.
But yeah, man, it was exciting to see PJ Hall with the big bench press move.
Yeah, man.
Coming off the guard, big violent move. Gets the quarterback, takes him down. We got some stats on PJ Hall. We're going to get to that.
Hell yeah.
We're going to get to that. KJ playing big hits and getting that helmet rule.
Yeah.
You know what it was? He got penalized for wearing a Raiders helmet.
That's basically what it was. Because, I mean, the rule says that any player that lowers their head is to be penalized. If you guys go back and watch that slow motion replay, the running back actually initiated that by putting his head down first. But because he got his ass whooped and went backwards, they call that shit on Carl Joseph. So I like the hit. Big props to you, Carl. That's the way you're supposed to hit. But the NFL is effing up the game with this rule. So I think there's going to be some changes, man. I don't think the NFL can survive with this bullshit rule. I don't think they can. There's going to be way too many penalties. There's going to be too many complaints, bro.
When a guy's that low, I mean, how?
What are you supposed to do? You're just going to just catch him in your chest? No, you got to lay some leverage. You got to, you got to bring down your shoulder pads to get some leverage too.
There's going to be a lot of conversation about this as we go through,
and the hit was clean. It was all shoulder. Yeah. He made sure that his head was to the side, but just because he came down with it, they call that flag, man, and that's not football, bro. I'm sorry.
That's not football. In fact, it prevents you from playing football.
Fuck yeah.
I get the rule. I enjoy. I like the spirit of the rule, but enforce the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law.
Right.
In this case, right?
Yeah.
So that affected KJ's overall score in the game. I thought, for the most part, he played fairly well. He had some misses out there. We'll talk about that a little bit, but a nice hit from KJ. He had a nice sack. Jumping, he was like a Spider-Man sack, like a spider monkey. Wow! Came at him, and he had another nice hit later on in the night. So definitely seeing some speed and aggression out of KJ that was missed last year.
Yep.
So that's good to see early on. Psych. Pregnant pause. I did that on purpose. No, I wanted to say the reason why I put that there is because a moment of silence for all the doubters in the zone blocking scheme.
Yeah.
See, the zone blocking scheme and the power blocking scheme, they can both work and they can coexist with each other.
You're damn right.
You just need the right person to teach them.
Yeah.
If you get to a point where you're saying, our line can't run zone blocking scheme, why are they in the NFL?
That's right.
If you are Kelechi Osemele and you can't run zone blocking, why are you an all-pro guard?
That's right.
Rodney Hudson has been known as the smartest man in football, and you think he can't run zone blocking. Gabe Jackson battling an ankle injury all last year. You saw him get pushed back often last year. Fully healthy now. Didn't lose any ground Friday night. Nope. Colton Miller fared pretty well.
He did.
He fell on his face once. I saw that, Colton.
Yeah.
They can run zone blocking.
Yes, they can.
And Cable's not going to run that predominantly.
Nope.
So I know this is week 1 of the preseason, but this is a good time to see that that's working effectively.
Right.
You're seeing gaps getting pulled, a lot of shifting and holes opening up in different spots along the line. In power, you get everybody moving one direction. That's great.
Yep.
For a good push, you catch guys off guard, especially if you're running the zone. You pull that power, move a different direction. You got guys that are gassed. They don't want to fight through that wall.
Yep.
Right? Working together, both very effective. We're going to wear teams down this year.
Oh yeah,
Count
we're
on
gonna put that. We're gonna put that man boob on people. We're gonna put that man. We're gonna put that gut, all that jelly on people. Man, you watch.
Yeah,
you watch.
I like it.
They're gonna remember us.
They might forget.
They might want to forget.
That short-term memory loss. Connor Cook is alive. He's alive and well. 11 of 19 for 141 yards and a touchdown. Cook has apparently taken big steps in camp. Word is he struggled with consistency early on, but looks to be progressing nicely. Love to throw to Switzer in the end zone.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful read by Switz to cut back because he saw that it wasn't opening up as he continued down that way, and then he turned himself back, and you could see that Cook. It was like silent communication, man. It was like go the other way, and boom, threw that perfect little
Cook
dart.
Gave him that little head
check.
Yeah, you see that
little dart.
Yeah.
Threw that little dart, put it in the ground where he was the only one that could get it.
Good case of both players improvising on the fly.
Yep.
And it worked out. So I like that. And that comes with reps too. So Connor Cook, who we got word that he was getting ignored in training camp last year, the year before.
Right.
Finally getting some reps, and it's showing. Big time showing. This kid, and we'll talk about this later on in the segment, I believe with Cain. But we'll talk about like his pedigree and where he comes from and what we should be able to expect out of this guy, because winning is a part of his pedigree.
Hell yeah.
Martavis Bryant, and I say that again, Martavis Bryant, because the Pillaging Podcast is not here just to entertain. We're here to educate. Man's name is Martavis Bryant. Try, put some respect on it.
Put some respect on my name.
He had an 18-yard catch and run on a drag route.
Yeah.
Not the most difficult route to run in the NFL.
No.
But creative, nonetheless.
And effective for a guy with that kind of speed, right? And I think it was even said on the TV by maybe Gannon himself. It was like, you can use a guy that has speed to burn the top off the defense, but you can also use him in drag routes to get him open also. So it's good. It's good to use what he has. He's got some speed. He's gonna shake some people. Don't always just throw him deep. Yeah. Because that little drag route, I mean, it didn't go for too much.
18 yards.
It can go for something like that during the regular season. You catch the defense at the right time, that could turn into a 40, 50, 60 yarder. So, it's good.
Absolutely.
It's good, man.
Absolutely.
Mix it up.
And you're going to see that used with effectiveness. You get, two wide receivers stacked to the left. A guy like Nelson and Cooper. Defense backs off.
Yep.
They go deep, one on a post, maybe one on a go. And down in the middle in the little soft spot, burning past the linebacker, comes Martavis Bryant on the other side. So things like that. I was saying before we started the show, my hot take of the week is maybe Martavis Bryant is a new Cordero Patterson.
Okay.
In that he's not the best route runner, but he can be a gadget guy for you. He's a guy that if you get creative enough with him and can get him into space, that's where he's going to hurt you. It's the onus is now on the coordinator, the head coach, to really draw that up.
That's right.
Right.
That's
so
right.
the drag route, effective use of that. We saw him on a lot of go routes later in the night.
And while early on too, they hit him with that go. Derek Carr tried to hit him with that go route initially, right? And honestly, I mean, there was early contact, but it's the preseason. The refs did us like they always do, right? And they're like, "Oh, it's the Raiders. We don't throw flags for them."
No.
So he didn't get that one. And then there was another one that Cook missed where he had burned the corner and he was right in between the corner and the safety, and he just didn't get it to him soon enough.
Right.
He overthrew him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Derek Carr really much on this episode at all.
Yeah, there's not much to say.
He didn't play much, but it was nice to see them start the game with the play action pass.
Yep.
I just got to say that before this episode's over. We started the game with a play action pass. I think we ran a few bootlegs on the night too.
Yeah.
To multiple quarterbacks. So very refreshing.
Very good.
I just want to say, refreshing. But Carr looked a little shaky at moments. A little shaky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
We'll
there was a little. I mean, he got a little bit of pressure on him on one of those throws. I think his arm got hit as he released it, kind of threw it up in the air. Jordy came through in the clutch and knocked that ball down so that we wouldn't get a pick.
Savvy.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
And Carr's the type of dude, he kind of revs up as he goes. That first series from Carr, I haven't seen a great first series from Carr in a long time.
Right.
So, we'll see. Once he, week 3, when he gets like a full quarter or maybe the full half, fingers crossed that we see some good things. They may even put him on ice for that third game. I don't know.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Yeah.
We got bigger things to accomplish, man.
Yes, sir. Gary and Conley warmed up in full dress, but did not play. He is healthy and expected back by Monday. I told y'all not to panic. Gary Conley's fine. Conley is not the soft corner, or I should say the soft defensive back on this team you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Right now, the guy I'm worried about is Obi Melifonwu. Rory is his ears are hot right now. He's burning. I know.
I'm burning up.
I know you're a big Obi fan, but I mean the things I've heard about his personality since reaching the pros haven't been good. And if you read Gruden's body language at the final press conference at the end of camp, he looked very frustrated. When they asked about Obi, you just see his body language. He kind of seizes up, winces his eyes, bites the bottom lip. Obi's being evaluated right now. We'll continue to evaluate lower body flare up. Just tired of dealing with the situation.
Right.
Pinero, he got lined up, kicked one off the dirt. Great success.
Yeah.
He had a kick from, I think, 48 was the longest on the night.
Yep.
Like a 20-something, a 41, and a 48, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere
That's
around
about
there.
right. 3 for 3, man.
That's it.
3 for 3.
A good job by Gruden getting him to the dirt to kick. You have to think that there was some thought going into that game that we're going to take an opportunity there if we can. We need to get this kid used to it.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to do it, man. Because
Yeah.
that dirt's not going anywhere.
No.
It won't be going anywhere till later on in this season, bro.
Yeah. So Eddie, not only the kicker, but plays a pretty good second base as well.
Okay. Shortstop.
Tons of penalties in this game. A lot of penalties. I don't have a number, just too many, but very typical for preseason. Not going to panic on that at all.
Nope.
We've seen this over and over again, not just with our team. There are a few sort of clean games this weekend. I caught the end of the Niner-Dallas game. I heard the commentary on that saying that there's very few penalties in that game, but also they were saying the refs seem to be just letting them play.
Yeah.
They just wanted to get the hell out of Levi Stadium.
It's preseason, man. This is bullshit.
But yeah, so that I mean, I just had to mention it. People are probably talking about it, so we'll mention it. Don't worry about that. That's pretty normal. Last quick hit, last but not least, overall the team looked very poised
Yes.
and prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about damn time, man.
Talk about this. We're going to hit on this again later in the show, but I want to hear what your thoughts on this are as far as, how we've looked in the recent past.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen. We know what we've looked like in the recent past. Last season was all bad, man. There was definitely like a lack of confidence. There was no buy-in from the players on the coaching staff. You could see that. There was a lot of turmoil, man. It was all over people's faces. It was in their demeanor, the way they took the field. And I'm telling you, I know this is just preseason, but I was there, and it was a different feeling, man.
Yeah.
These guys, they just came out on the field, and it didn't even matter if there was a big play. They gave up a first down on gave up a couple third down first downs, you know what I mean? they still went out there with the presence of mind, like we're gonna still make something happen, man. And you could just see that on their body language. They're excited to be out there. They're excited about this coaching staff. That's what's big to me, man. This defense looked like it had an identity. Nobody looked like they were lost. You know, that's night and day from yesterday, last season, man.
People say, "Oh, it's the preseason. It's not a big deal."
Big effing deal.
It's a big effing deal.
Hell yeah,
yeah, absolutely. So
it's a change of culture, bro. That's what it is, man.
It's exactly what it is. It's discipline in the building. It's accountability, and that's exactly what Gruden preaches. We're seeing it show up early, week one. They're here. They're ready to play. These guys, everyone's battling for a spot right now. Everybody on that roster is battling for a spot right now.
And we got a lot of motherfuckers, man.
There's a lot of folks.
There's a lot of dudes on that field. There's a lot of people that took the field this past Friday, man.
Look at the depth chart for the secondary. Look at the wide receiver spot and look at the running back spot. There's a lot of people on this team right now. Linebackers, too.
Yeah,
linebackers, too. So there's folks is nervous, man. And that's good. That's good.
It is.
You know, I've been in workplaces like that where it's stressful and it's like, yo, man, they're saying someone's going to get cut and everyone's worried. And I'm like, what are you worried about? Right. I'm not worried because I'll show up every day. I work.
That's right.
I'm not worried.
If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you shouldn't be worried.
Yeah, if you're worried, you better take a look at the mirror. You better ask somebody.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we ain't worried about it. In fact, what we're worried about are the facts. New segment this week. We're going to be doing this all season with you. This is brought to you by Pro Football Focus Oakland. You can follow them on Twitter at PFF_Oak, I believe it is.
That's right.
PFF Oak. You can search it. It'll pop up. They're bringing you the new segment, Silver and Black Facts.
Facts.
We'll have you do that next time, Che.
No, I just got a little excited, man. I was like, wait, we got the soundbite for that.
So we got some stats here that were sent to us over there by PFF Oak and by a dude named Mike out there. Check him out. Thank you, Mike. Shout out to you, Mike. He says he's a big listener to the show, big fan of the show. We appreciate it, man. I know. Let me just start this off because I know I can already hear the groans. Football Focus great. Look, here's what I got to say about stats. All stats can be misleading and can be, massaged and construed. There's a few facts that just it is what it is.
It's true,
right? But even look at like interception. How many of those are tipped balls? Right,
that's right.
Things like that. So every stat needs to be taken, into consideration, and every stat can be used to prove a point or disprove a point. To a certain degree. So I enjoy reading PFF. I think that their grades are a nice guide. And they're there to be agreed with and disagreed with.
That's right.
They're just there. They're stats. We've had Gail on. He explained to you what the process is. There's nothing mystifying about it. There's a lot that goes into it. But the fact that there's so much that goes into it should make you feel better about it.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying these grades are gospel. Sometimes they leave me scratching my head. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're right on.
Yeah.
But you take them into consideration, you put them in your toolbox, and it's just a part of everything that you consider.
Right.
And if you're doing writing, if you're doing analyst work, they're handy. There's a reason why they charge for this stuff. There's a reason why teams pay Pro Football Focus to get access to this database. But we don't.
Nope.
Because we're the Pillaging Podcast.
That's right.
Sure. I'm just playing. Big shout out to you guys over there at PFF Folk for hooking us up. So let's get started. Fan favorite this week, Chris Warren from Texas Longhorns. He tallied an impressive 3.6 yards after contact per attempt, 13 carries for 86 yards. Side note, Warren played 3 seasons at Texas and averaged 5.6 yards on 204 carries, including a 276-yard game against Texas Tech as a freshman. He also dealt with injuries and was moved to tight end in his junior season. He ran a 4.69 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine and signed with the Raiders after attending the rookie minicamp in May on a tryout basis. That's not the fastest dude, but he looked pretty quick on Friday.
He looked good, man. And my brother was like, man, he's wearing 34. He's wearing 34. We should retire that number. And then he laid some hits, and he's like, oh, he's kind of running like Bo out there.
Yeah.
Now. I was like, he definitely don't got the speed that Bo does. And I don't think there's a man on the planet that does. But it's good to see him trucking some people. And everybody saw the video from practice, I'm sure. The practice that they were having with the Lions where he laid out Gerard Davis.
Yeah.
Gerard Davis, man.
Yeah.
He laid him out, man. So this is the same dude, and we got to see a little bit of that during the preseason game, man. It was nice. It was nice to see. This guy's not going backwards.
He's a big physical runner.
This guy gets contact, and he's moving forward. It doesn't matter if it's an inch. It doesn't matter if it's 2 yards.
Fact.
Yeah, man, I liked seeing it. And you know what? Just to let your brother know, I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but the Raiders do not retire numbers.
I know.
The reason for that is Al felt like there was never any one player bigger than the team.
That's right.
And
that's right.
You can talk to Marcus Allen about that. Facts. DeAndre Washington forced 2 missed tackles and 6 carries and had 5.3 yards after contact per attempt.
Fact.
That's right.
You know I like DeAndre Washington.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get the spot over Rashard. I really do.
Well, listen, so this is the thing, right? I went on Twitter right after the game, and I said Chris Warren's making this squad. Mm-hmm. You know that there's not a whole lot of spots left, bro.
No.
Okay? So we're talking about Marshawn. We're talking about Doug Martin. We're talking about D-Wash. And we're talking about Jalen Richard. And now you got Chris Warren. That's not to mention the 2 fullbacks that they got, too.
Let me ask you a question. How much Doug Martin did you see on Friday night?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I think he had maybe 1 carry after Marshawn, and that was about it.
I don't think Doug Martin makes this squad.
You think he's cut, huh?
I think I don't think he's going to make it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel weird about it because
cold take.
They kind of treated him the same way that they treated Marshawn. Like, we don't need to keep you in there for too long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that this is the showcase the young kids. This is the showcase, let them battle out for spots.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why I'm also feeling like maybe he's already locked in.
Maybe. And I'm not going to lie, man. I'm curious to see Doug Martin.
Me too.
If he can rekindle anything at all, I'm curious. I'm all for it,
Yeah.
I don't mind these experiments. That's what it's here for. That's what camp and preseason's here for.
Definitely. But, hey, like we said, man, it's not a bad thing for us, man, to have 5 men battling it out for 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, maybe 3 spots, right? Because you know that the cream's going to rise.
Yeah.
And we're going to get the best 3 or 4 if they carry 4, right?
Yeah, we're going to free up a spot, too, when we cut E.J. Manuel. We're taking 2 quarterbacks into the season. Book it.
Oh, you heard it here first?
Yeah, breaking news. I wish I had the current affair sound effect. It's on here somewhere. Colton Miller allowed 1 pressure and 7 pass block attempts and earned himself his first piece of NFL laundry.
Fact.
You love that.
It gets better every time, bro.
Yeah, so Colton Miller, you got the holding call.
Yeah.
If you looked at it closely, it was a hold.
It was.
It was a hold.
But you know what, man? He's just getting he's getting them hands too high up on the shoulders, bro. He's got to do something about that because there was a couple times that I was watching. They didn't call no penalty on him, but he has his hand wrapped up here on the backside of the shoulder.
Oh.
And in a regular season game, they're gonna get your ass for that, dude.
You can get the front of the jersey. You can't reach the other side.
Get inside here. Get the chest plate right here. You go hold on to that. That's what I used to do. That was my little tuck the fingers underneath the jersey into the chest plate and just hold on to that shit for dear life, right? Just like this.
Right.
And then, but somebody, you know what, man? One of our followers, Bionic Raider, he sent me a video. And it was a video of Smith from the Cowboys working a technique by some old school veteran. Hit him up with this technique. He's all, everybody likes to do this punch technique, but I like to do a stab. So instead of like overextending and reaching out and whiffing or missing the guy, he's waiting to make contact with one hand and then coming in hard with like a stab motion.
Oh, wow.
Into the bottom of the body and controlling him that way. So we might have to pass that on. We might have to pass that on to Colton Miller, man.
Colton, I hope you're listening. By the way, Raider Forever, St. Homer, he calls in sometimes. We sit with them at the games often. They ran into Colton's dad at tailgates. So
okay.
He let him know, we call your son Giant, man. We love your son. And he was like, that's cool.
That's dope. That's dope.
I think he plugged the podcast. I don't know. Mike might have had a few, though. It was just a podcast. So Dad's like, cool, man. It's cool. But nah, I appreciate it. Mike. Marquel Lee graded out as the highest defensive player with a 91.2 overall grade. Lee had 4 run stops and 7 snaps and did not miss 1 tackle in 5 total attempts.
Fact.
That's right.
I might have to give you this board. That might be – you see me reaching over here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Marquel Lee. I'm gonna put a pin in this. And
put a pin in it.
Chase is going to come on later.
Yeah, we'll go back to that.
Chase is coming back tonight, guys.
Chase on tape.
I need to do a better job of, like, setting up the show at the beginning of the show. We just kind of go for it. But
it's all good, man. It's all good.
Maybe the element of surprise is good.
We got all season to work through it, bro. We'll work through the kinks.
Oh, yo.
We're just getting back into regular season mode, bro. We haven't had some games, so we haven't had to do too much
But damn it, Che, we were in a groove, man. We were in a groove, bro. PJ Hall claimed 1 sack and 11 pass rush snaps, along with batting down a ball.
Yeah.
Fact.
And it was quite the sack.
Yes, it was.
It was quite the sack. Hurst also recorded 2 pressures and 12 pass rush snaps. Hit him again.
Fact.
Hit him again. So Maurice Hurst was getting in there. I saw that. Make sure, and again, we bring on Chase, but you can check out his video on YouTube, and you see a lot of those Hurst snaps in there. The guy was getting after it. He didn't reach the quarterback, but the pressures were there.
Yeah.
He's so tenacious, man. The tenacity is insane.
On the run also, too, man. He got in there a couple run plays. He definitely he didn't make the tackle himself, but he put the running back in a position where he really didn't have nowhere else to go, man.
That redirect, right?
Yep.
Nick Nelson held his ground very well. The young corner out of Wisconsin allowed 5 receptions against 8 targets in 36 coverage snaps. He allowed 0.89 yards per coverage snap with a 70.8 passer rating on targets into his coverage. So not too bad for the rookie guy.
No.
Not bad at all. Wisconsin, pretty good defense over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about pedigree, and Cain's going to come on. He's going to talk about Nick Nelson later. Cain's real big on Nelson. He's big on him since draft day. So Cain's going to tell you about Nelson a little bit later in the show. The guy that I liked last year that I thought, this guy, he's a good special teams player. He's going to work himself into this team. He's going to stick around for special teams alone, is Antonio Hamilton, who I think might have graded out second, 90.3 overall and a 92.6 coverage grade. He played 18 snaps and 11 coverage snaps in coverage, targeted only 3 times and allowed 1 catch for 8 yards. He had 2 passes defensed.
Fact.
Big facts.
Big facts.
So I like that. Hamilton probably not cracking like the starting lineup as far as all the way down to nickel.
Well, he's going to be in the mix, man.
In the mix.
He's going to get in the mix, man.
There will be injuries. This is a guy that can step up.
Yep.
I like Hamilton. I think he's an unsung hero on this team.
I do too, and I like. I follow him, man. I like his motivation. You could tell that this dude just is a hard worker.
Yeah.
He's all about it. He's dedicated to his craft, man, and he's trying to get better every single week, every single day.
Yeah.
So I like it. Big ups to you, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Antonio Hamilton, man. Carl Joseph, he played 23 snaps, 11 run defense, 11 coverage, 1 pass rush. Obviously, on the 1 pass rush, he had the sack, but didn't grade well otherwise. The penalty probably not helping so much. 55.5 overall grade, 74.7 pass rush grade. So, who knows how those numbers differ without that penalty. Probably a little bit of a boost, but I asked for that stat because I'm over here still trying to root for Carl Joseph, man. Still trying to root for him.
We all are, bro. We all are.
But man, it's time to take a break.
Yes.
It's time to open up these windows.
Yeah.
And when we come back, Murf from Raiders Fan Radio.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, sir. We out here.
Peace.
All right, coming on the show right now is Murf from Raiders Fan Radio and the new network, Murf's Fan Cave. Congrats on the new network, Murf, and welcome to the show. It's glad to have you on. It's been a while since I talked to you. You had me on your show, and we finally got you on the Pillaging Podcast. Welcome. How you doing tonight?
Absolutely. I'm doing fantastic, Kenny and Che. Glad to be here, man. I'm a big-time fan of your guys, so I'm glad to be here on your pirate ship.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate that, man.
Welcome aboard, man, and congratulations on the network. Tell us a little bit about the network, the content you have on there, and how we can find you on social media.
Cool, man. Yeah, so you can find anything that we do at it's MurfsFanCave.com. You can find all of our shows there. Our flagship show is Raiders Fan Radio, as you mentioned, and that's really kind of where everything started. And then, we had an opportunity to kind of branch out and do some extra things. So we went from Raiders Fan Radio and then added on a couple of not extra shows, but a couple additional shows. One is Mondays with Mikey and Murf. And if anybody knows who Mikey Raider is, he's a longtime YouTube broadcaster. He's a Hollywood guy. He's been in movies and TV shows and whatnot, but his passion and his love is the Raiders. And so he's been doing that for a long time. So he and I kind of joined up and we do a video show on his channel, but I take the audio version of that and I turn it into a podcast, and that gets played on our network. And then the third show we have right now is called the Fan Club Blitz. The guys that host that are Splatterhead and Fitz. and they are members of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, which is the fan club that is, the Black Hole is a thing, as you guys know.
Yep.
And so there are chapters all over the entire country, as they like to say. They're in your backyard. And so those guys run the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, and they've started their own fan club show where they reach out to not only other Raiders fan clubs, but to other fan clubs of other teams. In their most recent episode, they even went to a Kansas City Chiefs bar in New York City, marched in there representing Raider Nation, and held it down. It was pretty cool. So wow. So those are the 3 shows right now on the network. So I appreciate you asking. And it's been a fun endeavor so far.
I'm excited about the shows. I'm not excited about the proposition of having a man named Splatterhead in my backyard.
His name is Chuck, and he was in like all these like rockabilly bands, and that was like his on-stage persona. So it kind of works a little bit. He's and I know you're a musician yourself, and so he's taken a lot of what he learned in music and is now applying it to podcasting. So it's pretty cool stuff.
That's great. That's the show I have not gotten to yet. It's on my playlist this week. But I did listen to Mondays with Murf, Mikey and Murf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mondays. Yeah. It's Mondays with Mikey and Murf.
So I have a question for you. Have you seen Mikey breakdance?
Not in person. I've only seen it virtually, which is probably enough. I think I'm good. At least that's enough of a reference, and then just be okay with that.
And the question you've been getting asked, I'm going to keep asking you, is when are you going to start rapping?
Well, man, I'm not much of a rapper, but I did bust out some "It's Tricky" on the last episode.
I heard that.
And that's about the extent. My hip hop. I'm an old school hip hop guy, if I'm a hip hop guy at all, and so I'm really kind of confined in what my choices are.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did as best as I could with it, but that's I'm really not really capable when it comes to that. As much as I talk, as far as flow goes, it's not good.
Well, I guess I have to battle Mikey then.
There you go.
That'd be amazing. I would love that. That'd be amazing.
So, Mikey, if you hear this, I challenge you to a friendly Raiders rap battle.
Oh,
we'll see. We'll see.
This will be dope. We got to go live on YouTube with this, man.
Absolutely. I'm going to start working on it now.
All right. This would be some good cross promotion there. So, we finally had the return of Chucky on the sideline. We had the return of football in general. It's a good feeling. Are you feeling pumped up? Were you excited to watch some football on your TV this weekend?
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful, right? So it's just, I know you guys are longtime Raider fans like I am. You guys are Bay Area guys. You've been to the Coliseum a million times, and you were there. Okay, I know that. But the times when you guys don't go to games, when you see the Coliseum at night on TV, it's just pretty, man. And look, I know it's not the prettiest stadium in the world, but it's our stadium.
Yes,
and
right.
To me, it's pretty. And to see, just everything blacked out and just the way that it looks with that green field against that nighttime sky, I just love it when there's a night Raider game. I just whatever. But so it's just so awesome to see that, seeing Chucky prowl on the sidelines once again, man. Like, I mean, look, I'm not so crazy that I would get emotional over this stuff, but I got emotional over this stuff. I mean, like I was watching Beaches or something, like with some ice cream. Like, I was kind of welling up, man. I'm like, man, it was just too cool, man. And it reminded me of so many good times being a Raider fan. And much like my opinion of John Gruden's return as an overall, it's just, the last time we were good with any kind of consistency for any length of time, this was the man that was responsible for it. Yep. And so how you can not be, as a Raider fan, fired up by that, that opportunity and by that idea again is beyond me. And I get why people hate on him and what happened with him going to Tampa Bay. And look, that Super Bowl hurts my soul like it does anybody else. But just that idea of seeing him back again and seeing him embrace the Raider culture, he's not just embracing the Raider mystique on the field, it's off the field, it's everywhere. I know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here because you guys are on the front and center of all this, and you've seen it, what happened at Ricky's and all, and I appreciate your coverage and all that as well, because it's somebody like me, it's out of market. I live through you all and what you all see, but it's just the overall, it's just amazing, man. So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I'm just fired up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you answered it, man.
Yeah, you were
fired up.
You were on top of that. And shout out to Beaches. Nice little reference there. I was watching Beaches this morning. I was watching these Beaches called the Denver Broncos get their ass whooped by the Minnesota Vikings. That was on NFL Game Pass, by the way. You didn't miss that live, but I watched the condensed version because I can only take so much ass whooping.
That's right. You can only take so much.
So let's get down to brass tacks here, Murf. Besides PJ Hall, go ahead. You were going to say?
No.
Go good.
Besides PJ Hall, because that's an easy answer. Who's your biggest standout during this week's preseason game? Who jumped off the screen to you?
Oh yeah,
Chris mother freaking Warren, man. I got a man crush on this guy, and he is 250 pounds. He ran a 4.7 at the combine. Mm-hmm. Gruden says he runs a 4.5. Either way, it doesn't matter because if you catch up to him, what are you going to do when you get there? Because he's 6'2", 250 pounds. Just the way that guy runs, everybody saw the hit he laid on Jared Davis in the joint practices. And, of course, that came on the heels of John Gruden's tutelage to get his pad level down. Mm-hmm. And he's 6'2", so he's going to struggle with pad level. It's just going to be a matter of fact because that's what happens when you're over 6 feet tall, run the football. Yeah. But if the guy ever gets it to where he can consistently do that and lay the whooping on people like that when he meets them at the line of scrimmage, I'm just fired up. And I'm fired up not only because it's just fun preseason type stuff where these players emerge out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Here this guy was undrafted. No one was talking about him. But I think it's a key position for the Raiders as much as I love Marshawn and I love the story of Doug Martin coming over. But both of these guys are going to be on the wrong side of 30 by next year. And at some point, the Raiders have to address the running back position with some youth because, look, we've seen what DeAndre Washington and Jalen Richard look like. And, there's some glimpses, but for the most part, they're not going to be the down in, down out type of back. So to have somebody like Warren kind of come out of nowhere and he's a rookie, like, all right, like this, and look, I'm not putting a gold jacket on the guy and I know it's a preseason game and I know the perspective, but holy cow, man, like that I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? Like right. You kind of, not that you expected PJ Hall to knock down passes and get sacks either, but he kind of should. A high-level draft pick, you kind of assume they're going to have some production. This guy, Chris Warren, came off the street. So I'm just fired up for him, man. I'm excited. I think he's going to be a nice addition to the team.
From now on, when somebody asks you, how fast does Chris Warren run? You say, as fast as he wants to.
Yeah.
You goddamn right.
After his big hit in the camp session, the joint practice session, Marshawn Lynch had a little conversation with him on the side, and Marshawn asked him, how come you didn't get drafted? Chris was like, I don't know, man. He's like, you did something wrong, didn't you? He's like, no. Marshawn says, yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
But yes, Chris Warren III looked very exciting last night. Hopefully he's not George Atkinson III. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, all love to the Atkinson family. Like, we really wanted him to be a Raider for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And he also flashed in the preseason, but, didn't quite make the cut. But then again, Warren, he's got a bigger build.
Yeah.
Where's the 34?
Yeah, he does.
Runs.
Yes.
I might catch some heat for this, but the way he runs, he reminds me of McFadden when McFadden was on top of his game. McFadden was somewhat of an upright runner, very violent, like to deliver the hit at the end of the play.
Yeah.
So,
but better structure, don't you think?
Yes.
You see the legs on Chris Warren? Yeah. There's a difference between McFadden's legs and Chris Warren's legs, man. This is a big dude.
McFragile, as we used to call him.
and hopefully there's a big difference between their Liz Franks.
Out.
Yeah.
I never knew what a Liz Frank injury was until Darren McFadden joined the Raiders, and then I found out way too much about him.
Yeah, now you hear about him all the time. So it's shout out to Donald Penn. So now that you've gotten a small taste of football, what excites you most going into this season? What's different for you? What are you feeling after week one? Now that we have something we can kind of sink our teeth into, what got your juices flowing, headed now closer towards the regular season?
Wow, you know what? I'm so many things that came off the screen and watching that game. Whether it was the play of the defensive backs, I was really encouraged by. That was good. The offensive line looked great. There's a lot of things in that game in particular, but as far as like it's more of an outlook type thing, I think the division has got to be ours. And I felt this way last year too. Of course, we all know what happened last year, but the other teams in the division are down. And I feel like also, like, we kind of saw this coming from a while away. Like, once, like Peyton started to age out, and of course Phillips Phillip, but like, you saw the other teams in the division, the Kansas City defense was starting to age out a little bit. And of course, they're always inconsistent with Andy Reid to begin with. And I just felt like the division on the horizon was going to be ours to be had. I thought it was last year, and I'm pretty sure most of us did. This year has got to be it. Like, this, I can't think of another time since the last time we won it, when it was 02. I can't think of the last time that it was this set up for us to take it. So I can't imagine that the Raiders don't take advantage of that opportunity this time. There's way too much excitement around the team. It just seems like, again, it's preseason. I got to temper my feelings on this stuff. I want to be rational about it. But, to answer the question fairly, I think that there's enough there, even from what we've seen in just a little bit. I think there's enough there for this team to make a move on the division. And we've got to. I don't want no wild card this year, man. We need to win the West.
That's right.
Well said. I think the West is pretty much wide open. I mean, you can make an argument for the Chargers, but it just seems like those guys are snake bit, man. They got injuries already in this preseason. Mm-hmm. Actually, prior to the preseason, you have a team that typically starts to peter out down the stretch. And so I think it's really between Los Angeles and Oakland this year.
Yeah.
You got Patrick Mahomes, who sounds like a cracked out version of Kermit the Frog. If you haven't heard this guy talk, you need to check it out.
I did, and I was trying to figure out, trying to pinpoint, what's this dude sound like?
He sounds like if Kermit the Frog joined the WWF in the 1980s and then went on a alcohol-fueled crack binge and then came back 4 years later for a documentary, and that's his interview.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's real specific.
Very specific. No, but so, I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, who I think will be a good quarterback in the NFL, but probably not quite yet this year. And then you got Denver Broncos, who I feel like there's talent obviously still in that team, on that defense, but there's a whole host of problems. Sure, they got Case Keenum, but he's in a very different scheme this year.
How do you look this week?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be missing his coaching staff. That offensive line has problems. The Raiders are fully loaded right now with talent. There's a lot of competition. We have the coaching staff. I won't go as far and say that the West is wide open, but the opportunity is definitely there. So I agree with you, Murph. That's great. That's great. I mean, that's a different direction I expected you to go, and I'm glad. That was refreshing that you came with that take. I like that take.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So you're originally from the Bay, is that right, Murph?
Yeah, originally from San Jose, California, Seven Trees.
Right down the street, bro.
Oh, wow, you're from the Seven Trees neighborhood. I work in the Seven Trees neighborhood every day.
Do you really? Yeah, man, I played football at Andrew Hill High School. I played, I wore number 86 because of Mervin Fernandez.
Oh.
Murfin Fernandez.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course, Jim McMahon played there quite a few years before me, and Mervin was before me too. But if you go next time you drive by, look over. It says Jack Germain Field. I played for Jack Germain the last year that he coached at Andrew Hill.
Oh shit, that's cool, man.
Good knowledge, man. Yeah, I work over there. Work at the occasionally. Maybe I'm giving out too much info on the air. I can edit that out. But yeah, no, man. I work over there in the neighborhood, and yeah, that's cool to know. So, what do you miss most about the greatest place in the entire world?
The food. The La Villa raviolis. La Villa downtown in Willow Glen is my all-time favorite place to eat. It has been ever since I was old enough to know it was a thing. Just like with the Raiders, as soon as I was old enough to know what the Raiders were a thing, I was a fan. Same thing with La Villa and their raviolis, man. As soon as I was old enough to know what that place was, it's just been my favorite food, and I can't wait. I actually get to come home for the Week 1 game. Looking forward to it. And the La Villa is closed on Monday, which is fine because I'll be in Oakland watching the Raiders. Where do you think I'm going to be Tuesday morning? I'll be at La Villa.
Is that La Villa Italiano, or is that it's just La Villa's?
It's Bertucelli's La Villa Delicatessen, and it's right there on Lincoln Avenue in Willow Glen, right downtown. So
noted.
I kind of grew up around that area. I really grew up all over San Jose, man. I've lived in Almaden. I've lived in Willow Glen. I've lived in, as I mentioned, Seven Trees. I lived in Morgan Hill for a little while. Like, I lived all over. I lived in Campbell for a while. I lived kind of all over the city, but But that kind of Willow Glen area was a little bit of my stomping grounds. It's like Los Gatos now. When I lived there and was around there, it didn't look like it does now.
Right. Yeah.
But it's all grown up and whatever. Don't take a shot at anybody that lives there now. But it's just different. I'll say that.
It's very different. I mean, good for Willow Glen. They have a hell of a downtown scene right now. Good nightlife right now. But yeah, I remember back in the day, it was a different kind of neighborhood. It was quiet over there. So do you have plans on coming out to any games this year, Murf?
Yeah, that week 1 game, thankfully, it worked out to where I'm gonna be out there on the West Coast anyways, and so I'm gonna slide up the Bay Area, visit some friends and family, and take in the week 1 game, man. And I'm trying my darndest to get tickets in the Black Hole. So that's out of all the Raider games I've ever been to in my life, I've never sat in the Black Hole, and I'm thinking there's probably not gonna be many shots at this again, especially for somebody like me who lives out of Market. So do my best to get down in there and towards the end zone.
Well, good luck with that. Make sure you come find me, Che, and Cain before the game. We'll be hanging out there in the D lot and the A lot. We like to bounce back and forth. But come find us, man. You got my number. Hit me up, and we'll link up before the game and maybe get you on air a little bit with us out there.
That's right.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I appreciate the invite, gentlemen. That would be a blast. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. And thanks for coming on the show. Most important invite of the night was you getting on air with us. And why don't you plug the network one more time before we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks. So you can check out everything we do at MurfsFanCave.com. You can find me. I'm on all this different social media. You can look for us, Raiders Fan Radio, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatnot. You can find me directly, _Murf. But outside of that, man, just look for us. The best way to support our show, the best way to support your show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. The more often that you do that, rate us, review us, all that good stuff. And I got to tell you before I get out of here, thank you to you guys. Appreciate what you all do. I don't listen to a lot of Raiders podcasts, and the reason why I don't is because I don't want anybody else's opinion to kind of infiltrate my brain. I want to be able to come to our show clean and honest with a fresh opinion. But when I do check out other Raider podcasts, man, this is where I come to. You guys are great. Hope you guys are proud of what you're doing, man, because it's legit. The audio content and quality of everything is fantastic. And, at times when people tag us or whatever they do on social media, I'm proud to be associated with you guys, man. It's good stuff.
Appreciate that,
Thank you, man. That means a lot. That means a lot, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're welcome back anytime, dude. So have a good night out there, brother. Thanks for staying up late with us, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right, fellas. We'll see you.
Take care.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Murfin Fernandez, everybody.
Murfin Fernandez. Yeah, man. That's dope.
I like it.
That's dope. I had two of my high school coaches were originally high school coaches at Andrew Hill, man. That's cool, man.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Andrew Hill, they got a bit of a pedigree for football over there.
They do, man.
Yeah, that's a crazy neighborhood. I don't know how much has changed since he lived there, but it's a very different neighborhood now.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't spill the beans, bro. Don't spill the beans.
It's a different neighborhood, but I mean, it's cool. The people in that neighborhood have been real nice to me. So
there you go.
Yeah, shout out to San Jose, man. San Jose is sort of a hidden gem. I think a lot of these players and stuff that play for the Bay Area teams, they really appreciate San Jose. You see them hanging out in San Jose quite a bit.
It's true.
So San Francisco and Oakland are damn fine cities, but San Jose on its own is a pretty damn cool city. It is a very large city.
Yep.
I believe San Jose, with all of the connected sort of boroughs, if you will, reaching out even up to Milpitas. I'll go as far as Milpitas and maybe Fremont.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Oakland. It's bigger than San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a big city.
I mean, it's no different than like San Diego, man. San Diego has all these little boroughs too, man.
San Diego's big.
You know what I mean? So they got like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in North Park. Where's that? San Diego. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like
OB, PB.
All kinds of places,
Yeah.
man. It's stretched out, spread out. San Jose's the same way, man.
Yeah.
San Jose's the same way.
A lot of good food in there.
Hell yeah.
See, I don't even know about this spot. I gotta
see. That's why I was like, I got all excited. I was like, man, Murf definitely listens into the show, bro, because he's already dropping food spots, man. He's dropping food spots.
Absolutely. But yeah, we want to thank him again for coming on. I've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio since before we started this podcast, and they're a good show, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Good show. So check them out. Like I said, I know there's other folks out there in the podcasting game, and I'm not talking about anyone specifically in the Raider Nation podcast, but anytime you have anything that you're creative with, people tend to get a little overprotective and self-conscious, and then you get jealousy kind of comes into play. We don't have that.
Hell no.
We're not competing with anybody. We're just doing our thing. And I understand as a listener of podcasts, like I need more than one podcast to listen to, because once that podcast is over, I'm ready to listen to the next one.
That's right. What are you going to do? You're going to repeat the same podcast? No, you want to get some different content, man.
Right now, I'm going back. I'm listening to every single episode of The Church of What's Happening Now. I started like somewhere in the middle. I went back to episode 1, and I'm working way. I think I have to get up to like 250, and then I could jump to current episodes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm burning through those.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Joey Coco Diaz. That's like my... I don't know. He's like the uncle I never had.
The uncle you wish you had, dude.
Well, in a lot of ways, he is like my uncle, who was pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But he reminds me of people that were in my life. And at the same time, he doesn't, but there's aspects of his character that are very reminiscent of some people that used to be in my life.
He reminds me of my uncle too, man.
Oh yeah,
my uncle O,
yeah.
Big O, man.
Yeah.
Shout out, Big O.
Shout out to Big O. But man, I think it's time to take another break.
Hell yeah!
All right, we're gonna check out your callers, and we'll come back on the air, respond to those, and we still got Cain and Chase on the other side, so we will see you there.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yo, Kenny, Shay, what's going on, fellas? Look, first time caller here. I don't have no handle. I don't have no nickname or anything like that. You can just call me PE, but I'm a long-time Raiders fan. I live out here in North Carolina. I love you guys' show, man. You guys do a great job, man. You definitely have some interesting guests on your show, and like I said, you guys are doing a great job. But a few things I wanted to touch on. First of all, the John Gruden thing. If you listen to the networks and all the analysts and the pundits, everybody's wondering what John Gruden is going to do with this team. I think it's pretty simple. If you look at John Gruden and his coaching tenure, you can follow whether he's been, successful, meaning having a successful year, simply by looking at his quarterback. If you look at his quarterback, if he's had a good quarterback, then, he's had a pretty good season. And I think Derek Carr is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So, Raider Nation, y'all just rest easy. We're going to have a pretty good season. I don't know if we're going to win the AFC West, but I think we'll definitely have a better year than last year. I think everybody's pretty much right on. 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe even 10 wins is, I think, about what we can look forward to this year. And Martavius Bryant, I think John Gruden did call Martavius out. I think there's a reason why, he got out of Pittsburgh, besides the suspension thing. I think there's a reason why they didn't want to hold on to him. Maybe this is it. The guy makes some big plays, but I think even when he was at Clemson, he was kind of the same way. He didn't really know the offense. He was just so much better than everybody down there. And he kind of got overshadowed by Sammy Watkins when he was at Clemson too. So I think that's that's a thing too. But I think Gruden definitely called him out, man. If he doesn't get his act together and he doesn't, pick up this playbook and start picking it up in practice, I know we traded a 3rd round pick for the guy, but he may not make the team. And like Gruden said, he's gonna play the best guys. If Switzer comes in there and does what he's supposed to do and knows the offense, hey, there's a chance he may not even be on the roster. And as far as the defense goes, everybody's talking about Khalil Mack, but from a business standpoint, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to pay Khalil what he's asking for, because if you look at it, you can keep him, and he's got to play this year. We owe him $14 million. He's under contract. But if you franchise him next year, you're only going to pay him $17.5 or somewhere close to that. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Like I was saying, the offense is going to be what it is. I think the defense is going to be improved. I don't know if Obi wants to play any ball, though. Obi and Garyon, I think they kind of fall in the same boat. I think they're immensely talented, but I don't know if their heart's really in the game. That's all I'm going to say about those two. And Mark Davis, let's get on that, the Vegas move. Like I said, I live in North Carolina. I hate to see the Raiders move because I think Oakland is the Raiders. But you got to give kudos to Mark Davis for what he did. He pretty much played Sheldon Adelson. He knew he wasn't going to use Sheldon Adelson for the financing, but he played him to get the votes. And once he got the votes, you know, he went on and got his finances somewhere else. But like I say, I hate to see him leave Oakland, but let's give some kudos to Mark Davis for at least making that happen. And my last question, this is one for you guys I need clarification on. Every time somebody brings up a top 5 in hip-hop or rappers or MCs, why is LL never brought up? I mean, if you look at LL's longevity, the albums he put out, and he's still in the game, he's still relevant. Why does nobody ever bring up LL? Just wanted to put that out there because I live in North Carolina. I'm kind of an East Coast guy, but for what LL's done, he's got to be at least be mentioned. If he's not top 5, he's got to be in the conversation. You know, he can do it for the ladies, but he can also end your career if you come at him the wrong way. So why is LL not mentioned? You guys think that over. And once again, this is PE. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm out. Peace.
It's the WAP again, Kenny, Jay, to continue on what I was going to say before. Like I said, clickbait central right now. The trade rumors about Khalil Mack, like I was saying, ain't going to happen. So there's a price tag that they can pay, that they'll be willing to accept to let it go. But it's just not going to happen. Nobody has the cap space nor the amount of resources it would take for the Raiders to be okay with departing with Mack. It's just not going to happen. So when you see those trade rumors, be like Michael Jordan. Just stop it. Alright? Stop it. It's not going to happen. And what happened 2 days later after I was saying about Martavis Bryant and then him being a little slow, what's going to happen? Boom. A couple days later after Ryan's thing, what does it say? It says he's having great camp. He knows he's capable of doing it. Of course, it's just garbage. All he's doing is producing nothing but garbage. It has the very unlikely possibility of being true. They're just going to throw it out there. Anything to just get something out there. Raider Nation, don't believe all the BS. Just know your team is in good hands. John Gruden is not going to allow some mediocre player to be out on the field. It's not going to happen. His reputation means just as much as the team's reputation. So best believe that he's not going to get all these coaches just to be embarrassed. I just don't see it happen. So chill out, guys. Everything's going to be okay. Max will be on the team. And everything, we're going to have a good team. I'm thinking maybe 10-6. If we do better than that, I'm well happy for that. But I'd say we're going to be a 10-6. That's what definitely going to beat the Rams. I just feel it in my bones. I think the Rams are going to be last year's Raiders for some reason. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were. But other than that, WAP's out. You guys have a good one. Another hot day in the Devil Desert. See you later.
What is up, villagers? This is your boy Jalen. You guys can call me Jay, by the way. You guys are all my brothers and sisters. So no need to say my full name. But I wanted to call because I wanted to wish Kenny and Jay, or not wish, but say thank you. Thank you. They got me in the G-Paw Raider, who is my dad. You probably heard him call a few times. But they got us tickets to the Colts game. Kenny has gone above and beyond for us. But other than that, though, obviously you guys have been doing real well, and I'm excited for the season. And all I can say is just win, baby. Go Raiders.
Good morning, Kenny, Jay. It's 5 a.m. here in Colorado. This is G-Paw. Just letting you know that everything's going great. The Khalil Mack holdout is still on. It's not the best thing to hear. I am so excited tonight to watch the Raiders versus the Lions. NFL Network, 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. I am really looking forward to coming to the game. I know the information you're giving me is really fun, and to let you know that we are willing to pay whatever it takes to go, so don't try and get them so cheap you don't have to. We just want to go, okay? Yeah, man. Everything's looking great for the Raiders. I watched a lot of the training camp sessions and practice. Joint practice is awesome. Let's keep it going, Raiders. Just win, baby.
Hey, happy game day, Raider Nation. It's your buddy JFB chiming in, as I do annually, that we could say, because it's our second year. Preseason wins matter, people. Everyone loves to bring out the outliers, but the last 11 Super Bowl winners, I said this last year, check the receipts. Last year, the last 10, now it's 11 Super Bowl winners, 2 or better. We haven't had a Super Bowl winner that went 1-3 or 0-4 in 12 years. Okay, that's not just some anomaly. And yes, there's going to be outliers. People bring up the Art Shell year. We went 4-1. We went 2-14. There's always a few outliers, right? Well, last year we went 0-4 in the preseason. And at the end of the games, Ken Norton Jr. and Jack Del Rio are giving up touchdowns and looking confused. And then Dickhead Downing would get the ball, we wouldn't do shit, and we'd lose. Sound familiar? A little bit to me, too. So, let's go out and win the preseason games. People bring up the Art Shell year. Well, look at, the next decade. There was a shit ton of 1-3 preseasons and 5-11 regular seasons. So, let's try to turn it around here. We gotta stop treating preseason games like it's some adult league rec softball tournament. You already played 4 games and really don't want to win. We're done playing. Johnny's pitching this game. No. Let's go out there. Let's have Derek Carr sling a touchdown. The defensive rotation guys that are going to be playing this year. Get some turnovers. Take a nice little lead. Going to the half. Connor Cook, EJ Manuel. Cruise us on in. John Gruden shakes some hands. Slaps some ass. On to the next one. Victories. We need to go win. There's very important people on the field at the end of games trying to win. They're called the coaches. The year the Super Bowl dickhead Patriots and Bill Belichick beat the Falcons, they went 3-1 in the preseason. Go look at all the games. A bunch of last-minute victories. Sound familiar? Like, it's Belichick screwing with people in the preseason just like he does all throughout the year. Damn it makes me mad. We're going to go 3-1 this year in the preseason. We're going to go make the playoffs. If we lay a stinker in the preseason, season's over. Let's go Raiders. Let's go get a victory.
Yo, Kenny and Che. This is Monster Mash from New Jersey. Been waiting to call for the right time. I wanted to see what the boys did this last preseason game. Very excited, very optimistic. I think it's nice to see good coaching. Marshawn looks fresh. I'm really interested to see what happens with the running back situation. Got to give a shout out to Cain. I'll be representing the East Coast, New Jersey for fantasy football this year. Looking forward to whooping that ass. Just kidding. Hoping that everybody just goes after Raider players and they save the best for me. Anyway, I love hearing the show. You guys do a great job. Looking forward to hearing the Yo, Kenny and Che, this is Monster Mash. Sorry, driving, cop drove by, had to drop the phone. Anyway, looking to see what you guys do this year. I'm a first-time caller, first-time listener. Anyway, the whole thing with the hits, I'm interested to see how that works out. How are these guys supposed to tackle? They look pretty clean, but then again, safety first. I kind of feel like, the NFL wants more scoring. Let's move the ball down the field, give offenses more chances to score. They only benefit from that, but what do I know? Anyway, looking forward to seeing you guys, or to hearing you guys this year. Maybe I'll catch you at a game on the East Coast. If you guys do Baltimore, I'll be there on the field. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Keep up the good work.
What's up, my brothers? It's St. Homer. Man, it was exciting driving to the Coliseum the other night, even if it was just a preseason game. Nothing like feeling the atmosphere and the vibes that go on there, and knowing that Coach Gruden is back on the sidelines. So happy that we have a competent coach to teach and develop the players that we've been drafting. And yes, there is talent in our team. I'm just hoping that all things fall into place, we stay healthy, and we continue to develop this system, know it, and outplay our competition each week. I really feel like we can win the division. Denver doesn't look as good. Kansas City doesn't look as good. San Diego is definitely going to be our biggest opponent to take on the West. Anyhow, I'm excited about the young rookies on the defensive line. Can't wait till Key gets in there. And, of course, the return of the Mac. I just wish that would get over with. But it doesn't sound like it's going to. I hope he's okay with playing on the last year of his rookie contract. I really wish that we would have took care of the man. Best player I've seen defensively since Lawrence Taylor. Anyhow, hope all is well with everybody, and hopefully I get to see a lot of you guys at the game. I'm out.
Kenny, Che, long time, my brothers. It's your boy 303. Summer is coming to an end. School starts this week. Life is normal back in the house at 303. Time for me to start calling and pay attention to football again, man. I'll tell you what, that game was exciting last week. Team looked organized. It's great to see Chucky on the sidelines. And I think the things that stood out to me were the defense. Definitely vastly improved. We still need Conley back. We still need number 52 back, but definitely a lot of upside. Excited about that. Nice to see Connor Cook. You just tell how much coaching matters. Sorry, Charlie. Coaching matters. You need to stop saying that. Now you've lost all credibility. Because you could just tell with Gruden and Gunther, this team is going to be prepared. Now we're not going to have to worry about Jack Del Rio and his lack of, I don't even call it coaching, whatever it is. So anyways, super pumped. I'll be out there for the Packers game. I'm actually going to make a few games this year. Got really lucky. Got access to a suite moving forward, so I'll be out a lot of games this year and next year and beyond. So anyways, boys, love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Appreciate everything. 303's out.
And we're back. Let's talk about your calls a little bit. Had some new callers, some new voices this week.
Yeah.
All the new callers came through really strong, man.
That's good.
Yeah. Keep calling back, guys. I like hearing the new voices on the line. No disrespect to our usual callers. You guys keep calling too. I love the new voices, though.
Yeah, no, it's always good to get a different perspective, man.
And yeah, PE, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it. I'm a big Public Enemy guy myself, so
that's a good nickname. That's a good nickname to go with, man.
We're gonna roll PE.
It's the first thing I thought about when he said PE as a Public Enemy. That's good.
And just jumping down to your last question, how come nobody mentions Chuck D in their top 5?
There you go.
Maybe not the best, technical lyricist, but arguably one of the most important lyricists of our time.
Definitely.
Very relevant.
Definitely.
Very relevant today as well. Keep an eye on the QB, absolutely. As John Gruden goes, so does his QB. He hasn't always had the best guys to work with, but, he did turn Rich Gannon into what he became. And
he did.
A lot to be seen out of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Because we did see some downs last year, as far as his peaks and his valleys, but some of those valleys are ingrained in the Carr. Mm-hmm. So we can't blame all of that on Downing.
Right.
Some of that we've seen from Carr before Downing.
It's true.
The indecisiveness, the holding on to the ball. When the play breaks down, we need to see that hungry Carr we saw 2016 third, fourth quarter drives.
That's right.
We need to see that guy in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So wake up. It's Martavis, PE. It's Martavis. It's not Martavius. I'm not picking on you, man. But everybody calls in here with Martavius. It's Martavis. Put some respect on the man's name. Sorry, I got a little choked up there.
Yeah, you got real emotional about it, bro.
I was talking to my cousin this weekend about Martavis and him being from Clemson. My cousin's a big college football guy.
Okay.
And he tells me this is a knock on a lot of Clemson wide receivers. Now, obviously, you had guys come out of there that have done well in the pros.
Yeah.
But they don't run the most complicated route tree over there in Clemson. So that's game I got put up on this week. I got to check it out for myself. But just a little, now no one's half the battle.
So. I feel like the NBC little boom, ding, ding, ding is supposed to come on right about now.
The more you know. Let me tell you about Gary and Conley, man. Gary's motivated. Gary's very frustrated. Gary does not have motivation issues. And you can tell that by, I mean, just hearing his interviews and what's been said about him and the fact that he's worked to get back on the field. Watch the coaching staff. When Garion's not there, you can see they're disappointed in a way because they know what this guy's motor is and they know what this kid can do.
Right.
And then watch their body language when they talk about Obi Melifonwu. There was talk last season about there's certain guys in the locker room that are more concerned with the way they look, you know, and the car they roll up in. And I was told that Obi was one of those guys. So if I'm wrong, and Obi, if you're listening to this,
right,
I apologize because I want to see you on the field. Raider Nation wants to see you be every part of that second-round draft pick that you were.
Hell yeah.
But, man, we're getting really tired and frustrated right now. And, you know, John Gruden, this is a knock on Gruden, too, how he's used the media to put pressure on injured players. He did it to Chris Sims back in the day. And Chris Sims has spoken out about it. But you know what, man? The part of that is you got to play through it in the NFL. And come week 6, come week 12, when you're in the playoff hunt and you got a lower body flare-up, whatever that is, you better put some tape on it and rub some dirt into it, man, because that's the way it goes in the NFL.
You're damn right.
Ask Amari Cooper, man. He's a guy that's faded down the stretch, too. And we're looking for him to get back on his horse this year and give us a full 16 games.
That's right.
That's right. Nobody is an exception in this league.
No, there's nobody that's an exception on this team, and there sure as hell isn't an exception in the league, right? So, like, you need to stay. You need to keep working, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, we as fans, we want to see you succeed, but if you're looking for a shoulder to cry on, I'm sorry, man. No one's giving us a shoulder to cry on when we got to go through these seasons, right? So,
right.
So you got to do it, man.
Yeah.
Give us a reason to support you, man. Give us another reason to be back in your team, right on your team, right? So, yeah, it's a tough situation, man.
We'll see. I don't hear no players talking about OB either.
It's true.
I don't.
That's true.
I really don't. But do it for Rory, man. That's the new mantra. Do it for Rory. do it
for Rory.
Do it for the holistic pickle. I'm gonna send Obi a jar of pickles.
And say, this is from Holistic Pickle. He's your biggest fan. He really thinks you're gonna be the All-Pro, man. Don't let him down, man.
I might get arrested for a move like that. Let's be real.
Be like, what is this?
Not going to talk about the Vegas situation anymore, PE, because we've talked about it at length. But I think that your point is very well stated. I'll say that. I'm not going to disagree with anything that you said. I think if I'm going to say anything about this, there's people on both sides. And like I say about everything in the world, including politics, the answer is always in the middle.
Yep.
It's never in the absolute. It's never on the left. It's never on the right. It's usually right down the middle. There's some sort of compromise people have to come to, and Mark just did what he had to do. And you can argue that. We can argue that, but that's not what the show's about.
We can go all day, right? All week, all month, all year.
We're talking about the team on the field, and right now that field is in Oakland. So
that's right.
We're just going to focus on that.
That's it.
LL, why is he not in the top 5? I'll tell you why. Pink cookies in a plastic bag. That's why. LL started off strong. I was a young kid when he dropped his first album, and I really caught wind of him when he dropped his second album. I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I had both tapes. Fire, man. When I heard radio, it changed my life. Let me tell you a little LL Cool J story.
Let's do it.
A few years ago, I'd say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a tour. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Rock the Bells. That's a different tour. When I heard the song Rock the Bells, that really blew me out the box. But it was an LL Cool J tour, and it was him. He had some other cats on that tour. He had like Ice Cube. I think De La Soul was on that tour.
Shit.
It was a cool tour, man.
That sounds good, man.
And it was like $20. Public Enemy was on that tour.
Damn.
I went and saw it at Shoreline. It was cool, and LL headlined. He came out strong. Rock the Bells, all the hard stuff from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he did Doing It Well, everybody packed up their shit and left.
Oh, man.
I swear to God, I was sitting out on the grass because that's how the real ones do
it.
We sit out in the field.
Shoreline, yeah. Anybody who's been to Shoreline knows what that's all about.
The only people that stayed were the ladies with the big door knocker earrings. They were hanging out. They were loving it. But, yeah, he can rock for the ladies. I'll give you that. But I think that was his mistake is he focused too much on that and then spent the rest of his career playing a cop on TV. I mean,
it's true.
And so did Ice-T. He didn't lose any credibility, though. But I think LL, he made some career choices that were off. In the chat, Stacanova brought up a guy who's my top 5 changes day to day. There's just too many rappers to keep it to a top 5. But
yeah,
one guy that he mentioned that's in my top 5, in and out, is the DOC.
Yep.
The DOC can rap. He did a whole gangster rap album without ever being a gangster on the album.
There you go.
And think about that. You put on the first DOC album, and it's as hard as any NWA album, but he doesn't fuck any bitches, and he doesn't murder anybody on that record. He just drops straight knowledge on that whole album. Facts. Check out a song called Whirlwind Pyramid. It's not the formula. It's not funky enough. It's not a single off that record, but it's a dope song.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to what the DOC did. And he went on and wrote the lyrics for the second NWA album. He wrote a large share of the lyrics on The Chronic. He continued to write for the Dre, and he eventually had a falling out with Dre. He's on Twitter. He's pretty cool on Twitter. He'll interact with the fans and stuff. But, man, the DOC, he's dope. I would love to get him on the show. I don't know if he's a Raiders fan. He's from Texas.
Right.
Ren, if you're out there, I want to get you on the show. I've hit you up a couple times on Twitter. So if anybody has connections to MC Ren,
that would be dope.
That would be dope, man. That would be dope. And, of course, Q, but that goes without saying. But he's got his own things he's busy with. So unless Che might be in Right Along 3 is what I heard.
I'm working on the doughboy hair right here.
I see that. See that? We need to spritz it up for you. Get a little shine in that.
This needs a little bit of juice. This needs a little bit of juice, man.
Speaking of juice, caller with the most juice right now is El Wapo. This is turning into the El Wapo podcast. 4 minutes of call time. Wap, strong, very strong. I'm just going to shorten it to this, bro. All news is clickbait central right now. It doesn't stop with the sports. It's because of social media. Everyone could just scroll straight through things. So many people don't read articles, bro. They just read headlines. People come up to me all the time. They're going to trade Mac. I'm all, yeah. Did you read the article, though?
Right.
Because they're not trading Mac, dog.
Right.
Some cat over in Wyoming wanted to get some views on his webpage, so he put that in the headline.
Mm-hmm.
Don't click on the stuff. I recommend Raider Ramble. They had a Mac trade piece out there, and I talked to homeboy that did it. We all talked to him. We kind of gave him a rough one on it. Maybe we went a little too rough on him, but he was like, man, I had to throw my hat in the ring. I mean, so I don't fault you for that. But check out RaiderRamble.com, man. I think they do a pretty good job of steering away from clickbait. So
yeah, and
they're an up-and-comer, and I'm all about the up-and-comer and the underdog. So check out Ramble.com. I will say that they are like an unofficial partner of ours.
Yeah.
Over the last couple months, we've had, a lot of their writers on, and there's still a whole stable of writers they have on their team that we haven't had on. So
that's right.
Check them out, man. Check them out, and shout out to Mario Tovar over there. He runs a really tight pirate ship. I appreciate that. Your last point, stop reading. Start listening to podcasts. Stop reading. This is the Fahrenheit 451 of podcasts. And if you don't understand that reference, then you never started reading to begin with. So. The Rams are, man, this is a hot take. This is about to come out of my mouth right now. It's hot.
Hot take.
The Rams are overhyped, bro.
Boom. Facts.
Fact.
So, shout out to Big Body Bess.
Yeah.
You're laughing because you could see his face.
Fuck yeah. I can see his face every single time that happens, bro.
This is why the Rams are overhyped. I'm not saying they're not talented. The Rams are an incredibly talented team. They have a great coaching staff. They're going to do things. They're probably going to win the NFC West. Hell. But nobody lives up to this kind of hype. Ever. You made a good point. The Rams are the Raiders. The Rams are the 2017 Raiders of this year, if I'm saying that right. They're not going to live up to that hype. They're not going to come out here and run the table. I mean, maybe they will. I'm sure Raider Rockstar will remind me if they do. I did say Gruden wasn't walking through that door also. But, and I'll own it if I'm wrong. I always do. But, they're not going to live up to this hype.
It's a lot. It's a lot of hype, man. There's a lot of hype to live up to, so it's kind of hard to see how they can.
It's like your Dodgers of 3 years ago.
Is this true?
You guys made a slew.
Don't be stabbing me in the heart right now. But you're right.
Your Dodgers are good. They're a strong team. They have been for the last 2 years, man. Yep. They didn't win it all last year, but damn, they were there, right?
Right there.
So, but 3 years prior to now, I think they had a slew of free agent signings.
It coincided with the Magic move. Coincided right with the Magic move, and they brought in all these players and they started making all these transactions, and it was like, oh, they're serious. They're gonna get into winning, and it just didn't happen. Happen.
It takes time for concrete to dry.
Everything takes time. Mm-hmm. Everything takes time.
The Rams, man, no disrespect to them. They're a great team, but everyone's acting it's like it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to be in the big dance. And that, for me, that's not a guarantee this year.
No.
Especially when the Raiders are guaranteed to be there. Come on, please.
There you go.
I'm just playing. Jalen, man, thanks for the donation, brother. Thanks for the call. I'm assuming it's you that made the donation. I want to do a plug right now, and I'm going to put this link in the YouTube description once this video posts. It should be there. You can donate to pillagingjustforfun.com right now. You can donate to pj4f.com. That is us, the Pillaging Podcast. Our site is there for our community to sit there and chat and talk and post things all day. They post Twitter. They post articles. You can learn a lot in that chat section.
Hell yeah.
There's some purse swinging in there occasionally, but it's a good chat section, man. When I first joined that chat session like a long time ago before we had the site, I just lurked there for years just learning stuff, things that get posted. So there's things on there that, our guys don't post the clickbait. I mean, sometimes they do just for a laugh,
and
then that's what it's for. But they'll search out the good articles and post it. So I have a feeling our comment section is like the best aggregator of content for Raiders material out there. I mean, it's like the Bleacher Report for Raiders content. So I would check it out. But what Jalen did is he subscribed. He gave us a $5 donation every single month. And if each one of you were to give us $1 per show, and this will never be a pay-to-play show,
right?
But if you guys were all to subscribe $1 per show, there are some things that we can do with this show.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we could really go places with
Hell
this
yeah.
show. So, I'm just saying, man, I really appreciate the donation because we come out of pocket. I mean, Out of Pocket Sports Network that we used to be on, I have a feeling Andrea, who ran that, she feels my pain too. And I wonder if that name came from the fact that we don't always coming out of pocket to pay for this stuff. And we do it because we love it. I'm not here complaining, but we do appreciate the help and all of that. So we're going to try to get a reward system in place here eventually. Once I get stocked up with more merchandise, yes, I have shirts. I have 100 shirts, and that's it. So, and I'm trying to get out the tailgate. So I'd like to give these away on donations, but we're not quite there yet. As we sell this first run of merchandise and the things we're about to bring out to the tailgates and stuff, we're hoping that could fund future ventures. So please, when you see us, man, if you got the cash, pay for the shirt.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home right now and you want to help out, just click the donate button. If you can't find, if it's for whatever reason I blank out at the end of the show and I don't put it in the description, go to pj4f.com. There is a donate button there. It's a link through PayPal. You don't need a PayPal account to pay into it. You can use your credit card or what have you. Again, $1 a show, man. Even that. And we've had some big donations, man.
Yeah, we have, man. We appreciate those, man. That's shout out to all y'all that put in those big donations because, like Kenny says, man, we're doing this for the love of it. We're doing it for the love of it. We don't really want to. We don't want to be on here every single day, every single podcast, right? Asking you guys to give us some money because that's not what this is all about, man. This is for the love of the Raiders. This is our family, right? So we want to provide you guys with the best content, the best show possible, and the truth is that if we get some donations, that's just gonna elevate the show, man. That's just a fact. So we're only doing it for those reasons, man. And any support that we get, we appreciate it, man. Tenfold, man. We're gonna try to give it back to you guys in the show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Even if it goes in our gas tank to get out there to do the podcast, right. Every little bit counts. But no, we promise we try to put this into real capital for the show. So it's not going in our pockets at all. No one's getting rich off this thing. We want you to get rich off the content. That's what we want. So G. Paul Raider, man. G. Paul Raider, he two people related, call back to back. So I wonder if they were sitting there and did it at the same time. I think that'd be cool. But man, I hope you enjoyed the game, brother. I know we're all excited to see football back on the TV screen. Send me your address, email it to me, brother. I want to get, as soon as I get tickets in hand, and I'm working on that. Let me tell you, it's not finalized yet, but it's looking really good. I have guaranteed have 2 tickets for you. I know you're looking for 4, so I'm trying to get that worked out in the same section. But send me your address. So as soon as I get those tickets, I could ship them out to you.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to be waiting on that. So send that to me now so everything's ready to go. And folks, just so you know, I'm not a ticket broker. A few people hit me up online after last week's show. I'm doing this for a very special reason, for a very special cause, and I'm just going to keep that right where it is.
Yeah.
This is a special thing. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad we can help out, bro, and hopefully I can see you at the game, man. So and just to let you know, those 2 tickets I have for sure, those are my tickets right now. I mean, I say that. the guy that gifted them to me is listening right now. They're not my tickets, but they're my tickets to give out and to use when I can. And I'm gladly to give those seats up to anybody that's really in a pinch if they have to. Those seats are first and foremost for people that are traveling and for our original pillagers. Those of you that are in the chat section on pj4f.com, we fly you guys out to every game. If you have a hard time getting tickets, I mean, it's really hard for you or financially, you're going through something right now, please hit me up. Don't just hit me up for a free ticket.
That's right.
I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're out there, man. So we're gonna help you out. JFB, man, maybe my all-time favorite caller, bro. I've kicked it with JFB. He's like the king of the hot take.
Yeah, he is.
He does it well.
Yeah, he is.
And his name stands for Just Fire, baby.
Just Fire, baby.
Because he brings the heat.
He does, man.
JFB came in hot, and part of me wants him to call in every week, but that's a bad move, right?
Yeah.
He's keeping us waiting on purpose.
You got to save the hot takes sometimes. You can't just keep giving the hot takes every single week, man. You got to come in and make people uncomfortable every once in a while. Ruffle some feathers, man.
It takes time to gas up the flamethrowers.
There you go.
All right. I'm on fire with the metaphors tonight. 2 or 2 or better. 2 and 2 and then. My original pillagers will get that joke. 10 and then is the original joke. That's the Reggie McKenzie plan. JFB is right. As much as I say the scoreboard and preseason doesn't matter, I got to say, man, coaches do coach to win. And those guys that are on the field in the second half, they want to see that win.
Yep.
They want to know that at the end of the game, they made a difference because that's their career on the line.
That's right.
If you're walking out of preseason games with a W, that means your bench is fighting hard. That means your team is fired up. Now, this was a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
And the refs had a lot to do with that. I'm not going to blame it on the refs, but, it's week 1.
Yeah.
Not everyone could lay 42 on the donkeys in week 1. Man, I watched the condensed version of that game, and it's condensed, but in 5 minutes, it was like 21 to something. I was like, wow. I took a sip of coffee, and it was like 42 points on the board. Wow. But so I am contradicting myself a bit, but it feels good to win no matter what the situation. But if you're winning preseason games, that means your team from the top to the bottom is fighting hard for your team, and that means you got talent in depth.
And man, listen, it's about establishing a winning culture, man. We're about establishing a winning culture. And so even if it is preseason and you make it okay to lose, that's not going to get that done, right? So we're trying to make a winning team here. Gruden's all about winning. Gruden's about making a winning culture. So, yeah, you're not going to be happy with a loss in the preseason, man. And you shouldn't be as fans either, man. You know what I mean? Like, we know that it don't count for much. I've said it on air. This don't mean shit, right? It doesn't help us out in the playoffs. It doesn't get us anywhere that we want to be. But it gets the mindset right.
Yeah.
So everybody that's on the team should be going out there thinking, we ain't going to lose this damn game.
Sure.
I don't give a shit if it's preseason.
Sure.
We're coming out of here with a W.
That's a culture, right?
That's it, man.
Winning is a culture.
It is.
That's not a result. It's a culture. So, yeah, man, good call, JFB. Good call. Looking forward to your next call in a couple months or however long it might be. Hey, don't let me discourage you from calling every week. If you got the juice, man, call in, brother.
Hey, do it.
Yeah.
Bring that fire, baby.
We're entertained. We're up here in this hot room. It's entertaining. I mean, all the calls are great, but, bro, you were shot out of a cannon. Loved it. Monster Mash, man. Good first-time caller. Great caller, man. That was a great call.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the hotline, Mash. Was that a dig at Raiders players in that fantasy football take?
Yeah, it kind of was, man. It kind of was.
You know what that is? That's not a dig on the players. That's a dig at Raiders fantasy football fan because this is a thing. I've been in multiple fantasy football circles. I've talked to multiple fantasy players, and without a doubt, the Raiders player in the league, he's going to go after 2 to 3 Raiders players, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And one of them he's going to take where he shouldn't.
Yeah, you listen, man. Raiders fans, let me tell you right now, this is coming from your boy, Che. Your Raider loyalty has to end with fantasy football, yo. If you're gonna go out and play fantasy football, and especially if you're playing for money, and you're trying to stay a loyal Raider, man, you're about to have a sad fantasy football season. I'm just telling you, man. Okay, so don't think that because you go and pick somebody else from another team in your fantasy football league that makes you any less a Raider. Just show your ass up to the game, cheer, and pump the team up, and make sure that we get actual real wins.
Yeah.
And then the fantasy football thing can be its own thing, right?
I can't do it, bro, because my emotions just get too mixed. I get excited the Raiders are winning, then I get sad my fantasy football team is losing.
You know it's one way to do it.
No.
You just try to make a league that's mostly Raider fans.
Okay.
If you have a league that's mostly Raider fans, which we did one season, we did my whole family, which you already know is all Raider fans. But there's the emotions, right? My cousin, he drafted, and this is an ongoing joke, man. This is a joke that has not died. He took Sebastian Janikowski in the first round.
Wow. Mr. Al Davis over here.
He's all Seabass with the number 1 pick.
Damn. That's a hot take.
Needless to say, he lost the season.
Yeah. I mean, my other approach is just lean into it, bro. Just draft only Raiders players. And that way, if the Raiders lose, you done well lost.
Yeah.
And if you won, then you might have won.
But here's the problem, man. The Raiders are going to have a bye eventually. If you have 3 Raiders receivers, you're screwed.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to have to drop somebody. You're going to have to drop 2 players, 3 players.
You're going to go 15-1. That's what you're going to do.
I guess.
That's good enough, bro.
I guess if that's what you're going to do. It's a good call. You could afford to lose one.
Here's another mildly hot take. The new hit rule is the new catch rule. They quote unquote fixed the catch rule, and now we have the hit rule.
We still have yet to see that. We'll see if they actually fix that. We're too busy dealing with this other bullshit.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. You put a nail in that one. Homer, man, good to hear from you. Homer's a really close friend of the show and a really close friend of all the original pillagers out there. Some of you guys are official pillagers, but you can't be original pillagers. It's just too late.
Hey,
you missed it.
The original pillagers started before the PJ4F.com even started, bro.
When we get rich and we can afford all the T-shirts we want, we're going to have official Pillager shirts, but we're going to have some select original Pillager shirts.
Some OG.
Folks, I'm working on that. Trust me, it's been an idea since day one, but it's going to cost a lot of money to get those shirts and just hand them out for free. I'm not attached to the money, but it's got to go somewhere where it's going to come back to us.
That's right.
We'll get there.
That's right.
It's economics 101. We're going to get there eventually.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, man, original Pillager Homer. Looking forward to seeing you on the 24th, man. Always appreciate your phone calls. You're a passionate dude. Homer sounds subdued on the phone call. He is the exact opposite in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of sitting next to him, man. He hooked me up with a ticket, right? That we all sat for the San Diego Chargers game a couple seasons ago. Man, that was he was right there with me, bro. You already know how fired up I get.
Yeah.
He was right there with me, man. We were throwing high fives at every single person, man, even the people who weren't asking for it.
You guys were the no shirt bros that day.
I had my shirt. I kept my shirt on.
Oh, I thought you went skins, bro.
But your boy Homer, man, he was out there. He was letting them fly, bro.
Hey, it was the hottest day in the Coliseum.
It was pretty damn hot.
Yeah.
Like I said, you had to take a couple water breaks, man. You were looking like you were about to pass up.
I had to step out. I need to bring a hat this year, bro. It was rough.
Get yourself a hat. Get yourself,
that was the hottest day in the Coliseum history, I feel like. That was a hot one. But, I mean, my breaks were short, dog.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's
these weren't Niner breaks, dude.
Just a run up the stairs, get that cold water. That line's going to take you a while to get to the front of the counter anyway. So
come back down.
You get that water, come back, bring your ass back down, man.
And before you're asking, why didn't you get a beer? It was the second half, folks. They cut off beer sales at halftime now. Yeah, Hogan Coliseum. I see you.
We had this problem on Friday. My brother was a little upset about it.
I told you, bro. I thought I told you.
No,
you already know, but
we were solid. You know, we were solid.
Yeah,
but we were just going for last hurrah. You know, hey, this is gonna be it, and then we're gonna finish out the second half.
At least you're not that dude that disappears in the second quarter to go hang out at the bar, the Irish pub.
Nah,
and then you're gone.
I don't do that. The only time I've ever been in the pub is to get a drink to take back to my seat, and that's because the other lines were ridiculous.
That pub is sweaty.
Hell yeah, it's musky in there, man.
Thick.
Hell yeah.
Stay out of the Irish pub, y'all. Why you want a Guinness on game day, anyways? It's like September, and you're trying to chug a Guinness.
I've never ordered a Guinness at a Raider game.
I'm straight, bro. Give me a Stella or a Modelo, or hell, give me a Bud Light.
But me and my bro, we got ourselves a denogonizer right before the half.
They have those there?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Right behind the seats that we had, bro. That's where we're like, that's the place to be right there.
That's dangerous.
I was in line, right? I was in line. Some dude came up, and then a dude and a girl came up, and the girl's like, "Are you cool with this?" And he's all, "I'm a Bud Light guy, but sure, this is cool. This is cool, whatever. And I was like, this is like 10 Bud Lights, bro. You're going to be real good.
Real straight. Drink it fast. Yeah. So, man, strong caller segment this week, a big fatty one. We got Cain's Corner right around the corner.
Yeah.
Did I say that? I just did say that.
Cain's Corner right around the corner.
Did not plan on saying that. And then we'll hit an injury update. And then last but not least this week, the return of Chase on tape.
Yeah.
We're excited about that.
I'm excited, man.
So still a lot of show left, guys. Hang in there. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back with Cain's Corner.
You.
All right, and we're back with Cain's Corner, brought to you every week by NFLShop.com. Make sure you go to PJ4F.com, click on the NFLShop.com banner, buy yourself a brand new Raiders jersey. You deserve it. We get a little piece of that, and it goes straight to the pirate ship, keeps us stocked with rum, keeps us on the water.
Yeah.
Pirates need rum, man.
Lots of it.
Welcome to the show, Cain, man. Good to have you back this week. We missed you last week. How you living, brother?
I'm living good, baby, and I'm sorry I wasn't there last week, man. But, we got to take a little time off in this dead period, man.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not, you can't create something with the Khalil Mack situation. I'm not finna start just creating shit like everybody else is. So,
That's right.
Just take a day off. You know what I mean?
Always keeping it real. And I'll take this time, speaking of keeping it real, I'll take this time to announce once the regular season starts, we're going to have a new segment within Cain's Corner called Let's Keep It Real.
Yeah.
And we're going to go around the league and shine a spotlight on folks that just ain't keeping it real.
I like it.
I'm talking about let's keep it real.
I like it.
And this is Cain's idea. I just gave it a name right now. I just came up with that. That's it,
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. So let's keep it real right now. Let's talk about Connor Cook, man. You've been high on Connor Cook since day uno. You stuck by this dude. You knew something was rotten in Denmark. You knew something wasn't right next year. And here we had Connor Cook underneath a real coaching staff, getting real reps in training camp. He went 11 of 19 on Friday. Talk about Connor Cook, Cain. Now is your time to hype up your boy, Connor Cook.
You know what? Listen, this dude, first of all, he's been a winner, 35 and 4 in his college career. He's been a winner wherever he's been. I don't have his high school stats, but I'm sure he was a winner there. This kid has been a winner, and when you get to the NFL, you need coaching. Coaching that if you come from a NFL coached college program, then you need to have NFL coaching. And unfortunately, the last couple of years, our coaching staff hasn't been able to coach up any of the rookies, not just him, but the other rookies that we'll probably get to later in this conversation. But, as far as Connor Cook is concerned, he's been a winner. The kid showed up, you know what I'm saying? He showed from the second series until halfway through the third quarter, he showed you what he can do.
Yep.
I was excited about this guy. No interceptions, no ill will thrown passes. Everything looks great. You know what I mean? And we can talk about the numbers, but outside the numbers, the kid looks good. He looks coached.
Yep.
And that's what I've been looking for the last couple of years. Like, that's sad. That's really sad that we didn't have the coaching staff here in these last couple of years that can get these players coached up, man. We had good drafts, and everybody's been knocking Reggie McKenzie, saying, hey, the draft picks this, the draft picks that, players that, this and that. But you know what? If you look around the league, a lot of those players that Reggie McKenzie, they still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's time to start looking at the coaching.
Yep.
And the coaching staff that we have right now has coached up a lot of the players. And amongst those players, Connor Cook has been one of those players that flourished in John Gruden's offense. And I thought he would. I really thought he would flourish with a coaching staff that's geared to the offense. And this is what we have. He's very well outplayed E.J. Manuel by far. So, let's just stop looking at last year's stats saying, oh, we was this, that, or whatever, and let's just look at, we didn't have no coaching last year. And let's just move forward into 2018. We got coaching. The players, the same players that we have last year are playing effectively now. They taken to the coaching, you know what I mean? And we moving forward, and we moving forward looking good too, brother. Shit looks good right now.
Connor Cook.
Connor Cook.
Oh
my God, yes.
Connor Cook looked very poised. Here's some stats I want to look at because this is Connor Cook's pedigree. Really quick: 2015 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner, 2015 Big Ten Quarterback of the Year, 2015 First Team All Big Ten. As a 3-year starter, a 34-5 career record. That's an 87% win percentage. MSU's all-time winningest quarterback. Finished his career as MSU's all-time leader in touchdown passes with 71. All-time passing yards with 9,194. And total offense with 9,403 yards. Finished tied for 9th in 2015 Heisman Trophy voting. It goes on and on. Career in bowl games. This dude was a stud in college. People were tripping when we got him in the 4th round. They were like, why?
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah.
This is why.
You know what? It's funny backup, because this kid I thought Connor Cook was going in the 1st round. So for him to drop to the 4th and we to draft him, no one ever should have questioned that. We should have been like, damn, we got a steal. You know what I'm saying? All these fans that's like, Connor Cook, he sucks, this, that, and the other. You didn't watch him in college.
That's right.
So now you see, you know what I'm saying, that this kid is built and made to play quarterback in the NFL. And I don't know what the Raiders' plan with him is. Maybe we might use him as trade bait, or maybe he's Derek Carr's backup. But this dude showed up. And I just can't wait to see him next week. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see him next week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd to hear that, to be excited about a backup quarterback. But you saw what happened. I mean, even in 2017, right? We get into the postseason, and it's Connor Cook time.
Yep.
Under a coaching staff that gave him 0 looks in the offseason.
That's right.
Gave him 0 coaching and had to ask this kid to go in there against the Texans and play a playoff game.
Yeah.
Now under John Gruden, he's finally getting some of that attention he deserves. Him, Gruden, Olsen doing work on the side, doing work in camp, and now finally getting some action in the preseason. You can feel comfortable. I will go as far to say as we are carrying 2 quarterbacks into the season. E.J. Manuel probably not going to be on this roster come week 1. That's how good I feel about Connor Cook.
I like that.
And I agree 100%.
And
totally.
I like
this
E.J.
dude
Manuel.
has picked up the offense. He's taken the coaching. And if you go back into Gruden's camp, when he was on Gruden's camp, he took to coaching then. And I think Gruden was excited. Hey, look, if you Gruden and you liked Cook and you liked Carr, which he did, in his Gruden camps, then you're excited to come back to the Raiders and coach the Raiders. It's like, damn. Did you tell the Raiders to draft these 2 dudes or what? Because you're back here, you got 2 quarterbacks you're looking for, you got 2 quarterbacks you like, so now let's coach them up. And the way I see it, Connor Cook looks good, man. Way light years better than he looked last year, or even the year before that, or even in his playoff appearance. The kid looks great. And if he would have played like he played in that preseason game, in that postseason game that he played in, we might have won that game, So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And speaking of Reggie picks that are out there in the league, I mean, Jihad Ward flashed this weekend.
It's true.
A guy still on our team, Shalik Calhoun, he flashed on Friday.
Yep, he did.
So you starting to see now what it looks like when you got some real coaching staff on this team. I wish we had Danico Autry still, bro. I really do. But the interior defensive line, I'm not going to spend much time complaining. So it is what it is. But
you know what? You know who else flashed, man? Fado Brown, man.
Oh, yeah.
He flashed too, and he's been on this squad too. He was on this squad last season. Didn't hear a peep out of him, right? Yep. Nobody was like, oh, who was that, man? We drafted who? What happened with that guy?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's on the field. He looks the part, man. He looked the part. He was making some pressure out, getting some pressure out there. So that's the difference between good coaching and also opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for Connor Cook is he finally got opportunity, man. Because from what we heard, he wasn't getting no reps at practice. He was just basically sitting on the sideline, just listening into people's conversations, man. He wasn't even getting a chance to showcase, man.
Just holding that clipboard.
That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Another guy in this squad that comes with a collegiate pedigree, and he's a rookie this year. Another guy that you've been really high on. Showed out on Friday, and that's your boy Nick Nelson, man.
Yeah.
Talk about Nick Nelson out of Wisconsin.
Ooh, Nick Nelson, Wisconsin Badgers. Hey, listen, I bet on college football for y'all that don't know. So I parlay games every week. So I watch these, especially Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Because my homie, he from the Big Ten. He graduated from Michigan State. So I'm kind of like attached to the Big Ten. So I watch Ohio State, I watch Wisconsin, Michigan State, Michigan. So a lot of these guys that we got on our team, I've seen them play in college. And I told y'all when we drafted Nick Nelson that this kid was going to be something special. And I didn't think he was going to show it in week 1 of the preseason. Come on, Nick, you doing your thing, baby. But he did. He showed up and showed out. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, he's going to be the slot. He's going to be our starting slot corner. Daryl Worley is another guy to look out for.
Yeah.
In case we don't get a healthy Conley back, look for Worley to be your starting outside corner. This guy, he played in the Super Bowl. He's got a ring. Yep. What more do I need to say about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The kid can play. So right now our defensive backfield looks formidable. It looks 1,000 times better than what we had last year. You know what I'm saying? And if we can add Gary and Conley to that, then, boy, the sky's the limit.
Definitely.
Just absolutely. So hopefully we can get Conley back healthy, and Worley can be your, third or fourth corner, because I don't think if we have a healthy Conley that he'll start over Nick Nelson. I just don't see that. I see Nick Nelson being one of the starting 3 corners, and when we go into the nickel, he's going to be your nickel corner. And then if one of those guys go down, we got Worley. So we're set. And I'm excited. I'm really, really, really excited about the defensive backfield, bro. And it's about time, because the last couple years, this shit ain't been good. No. It's been all bad.
All bad.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all bad. I got an Amerson jersey. That's how bad this shit was. Amerson looked that good that I went and bought his jersey. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he was the shit. But you know what? No, I made a mistake, and hey, you know what? We make mistakes on jerseys sometimes. Yeah. But I guess that you know what I can say this: once a Raider, always a Raider.
Yeah, hey, he'll be a Raider again once he's not a Chief. I'll say that. He could be once a Raider, always a Raider when he's not a Chief.
That's right.
So give it some time. He's not looking to. He got a couple flags already. So let's pull back a little bit and get a bird's eye view of this whole thing, because one thing you mentioned to me that you wanted to talk about is the focus and preparation of this entire group. And Che and I touched on this a little bit at the front of the show, but just coming into preseason, even just in week 1, in the past, we always trying to convince ourselves, well, it's preseason. It's time for them to get ready. We got 4 weeks. Well, it's week 1, and this squad showed up, and they look different. Cain, how did this team look different to you?
You know what, bro? Remember when you talked to me when I went to training camp, and I told you, damn, this team looked focused. It looked totally different. They looked last year like they got a mission, like they look more focused and more prepared. This was on day 2 of training camp, and I said this. And now here we are in, the first preseason game, and it has translated. I mean, shit has just rolled right on to good times. We start out good, we finishing good, and I like that. John Gruden has brought a sense of urgency to this team. His coaching staff has brought knowledge to the players, and I think that's something that we were missing for the last couple of years. And actually, I know that because, damn, like the players that I was watching in college, how do you get to the NFL and not succeed? Shalik Calhoun, right. You know what I'm saying? How do you not get to the NFL and succeed? Mario Edwards Jr., when y'all was doing good in college, there's got to be something wrong with that. And it was coaching. Now that we got the proper coaching staff, and I can't continue to say this, and I continue to say this, coaching matters. Coaching fucking matters. Yep. Look at Connor Cook. Look at Shalik Calhoun. You know what I mean? Look at Look at Mario Edwards Jr. Look at Marquel Lee. Look at all these players. They're shining now. So everybody that was talking shit about Reggie McKenzie and his draft picks, I think you need to take a step back on that. And I think I said this last year. There was a beef and a rift between Reggie McKenzie and Jack Del Rio and the draft picks and the decisions. And you see who prevailed in the end. Coaching fucking matters.
Yep.
We need that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We need that on a
T-shirt.
The
next T-shirt, man.
Yeah.
It's the next T-shirt,
man. Shout out to your boy, Charlie Cain. Charlie, he's an original pillager over on PJ4F.com.
Yep.
Argues vehemently against coaching. He says coaching does not matter.
It's not true, man. I mean, listen, if you needed to look at and see, or needed proof of whether or not coaching matters, all you have to do is look at Derek Carr 2016 versus 2017. Mm-hmm. And that's all you need to see. Mm-hmm. That's all you need to know.
Absolutely,
that coaching absolutely matters, right? Mm-hmm. It showed right there. You got the same exact player, 2 different offensive coaches.
Yeah.
Completely different, result.
I'm reading a book right now, Random House Publishing, Penguin Books. Were kind enough to send me an advanced copy of Michael Lombardi's book, Gridiron Genius. Mm-hmm. And this is the guy that worked alongside Bill Walsh, Al Davis, and Bill Belichick twice.
Yep.
And all 3 of those guys, tremendous coaches, very important in the NFL in all 3 eras. Look at your arch rival, Bill Belichick, man.
That's right.
Guy is perennial winner no matter who's on his squad.
That's right.
And it's buy in or it's buy in or get the fuck out with Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. And that's all coaching, man. It's the Patriot way.
It's all coaching.
Love it or hate it.
It's all coaching. It's all scheme.
That's it.
I won't say that scheme fits player. I'm just saying coaching matters.
Yeah,
okay.
True.
Now it ain't about scheme so much, but coaching fucking matters.
But,
you know what I mean? We see that right now.
But having a coach also that's aware and humble enough to pick a scheme that matches the strength of his players.
True.
Again, goes back to that mantra: coaching fucking matters, man.
Right.
So it's all of that, right? It's all of that. So absolutely, Cain. Now, you have an endeavor that you kind of opened up to the public this year a little bit. This is something that's lived on our blog for a little while now. Something I kind of regret not mentioning on the podcast, but if I did, you might have a fantasy football league of like 125 teams. But you started...
That's a lot of money in the pot, bro.
So we didn't announce it during signups, probably for that reason. We want the original pillagers in that league. But you have a pillaging podcast or a pillaging just for fun fantasy football league. Talk to us about that.
Well, I felt that we need to interact with the fans a little bit more, and this is one way to interact with the fans of our show. The few fans we have, the 10 or 15 fans we got, might want to show up and ball out for the fantasy football. Show us your experience, show us your knowledge, show us what you got. It's a way to let us know how smart you are and your knowledge in football. So I figure we start a league, and we started out with a pretty hefty buy-in, $50.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12 teams, and I guess I should go ahead and and mention the teams that was brave enough to join.
Yeah, give them a shout out. I want to hear these team names. One thing I really love is fantasy football team names.
Mac Daddy, Clapback Raiders, Gandhi Asamoah, Coopers Troopers, Warren Peace, Tigers Quality Team, Portland Potheads. I love you for that one. The Raider Ramble, Mile High Raider, Monster Mash New York, and Mac Trucked.
All right.
I wish all of you guys good luck during the season, and I want to thank y'all for joining the Pillaging Podcast Fantasy Football League. And this is not a keeper league. I'm looking for every team. I'm looking for teams to switch up throughout the season, every year, so we can get everybody, participating.
Yeah.
And good luck to everybody, and thank you for joining. And $50 is a lot of money, so I hope you got your practice on.
So what? 50 times 12. What is that? $600?
Yep.
Or six?
That's 600.
600.
That's
yeah.
600.
So that's a pretty good pot right there,
that's
man.
Good, bro.
Cain, are you in this league, or are you just the commissioner of this league?
I am in this league, but I will let y'all and everybody else know I got 2 other money leagues, and I haven't won either one of them. So this is not something that I'm creating that I could just win.
And who won last year?
I'm looking for competition. Actually, my last 2 leagues, I believe Conley Shin Splints won one, and oh my goodness, I can't even remember the other 2. But yeah, like I said, I'm not in this to win it. I'm in this for fan participation.
There you go,
and for everybody to have some fun. You know what I mean? And if I win, that's good. But I'm not. Of course, I'm gonna try to win, but I hope everybody else take heed and try to win as well, participate, you know. So
I want you to give us updates throughout the season. I'm interested in this league. I want to know who's winning, who's losing, what the waiver transactions look like. Do you keep us abreast of this information?
The waiver wire is going to be like on fire after week 1. It's like never fail, man. Week 1, injuries happen, people go down, people lose their goddamn minds. They start selling off their whole team, man. So give us that update week 1, man.
Man, the last time
definitely. You know what, Che? You had said you wanted to join, bro. Then you came like way too late. Like I was damn. Like I wanted to. I wish we all would have been in it, but I know y'all both got. You got family, Jay. You got family, and you work 12 hours a day. Shit, we all busy. You know what I'm saying? So we couldn't get involved in it. But damn, I wish. It would have been nice to haggle back and forth with y'all every week.
The next one for sure, bro. The next one for sure.
I'm making my return to fantasy football next year. I'll let it be known right now. The last time I played fantasy football, my waiver wire pickup was Priest Holmes.
Oh shit! That's gangster.
Right when he broke out. That's how long it's been since I played fantasy football.
Damn.
So. Yeah, so I got to get back in there.
You a fucking dinosaur. You was back when they was using newspapers to fucking do the fantasy football league. I wouldn't even know how to play that yet. And when Priest Holmes was playing football, shit.
I did my draft on a Scantron form, bro. Yeah, so and then my boy Tony over at Creative Media Design Studio Tones, he's got a fantasy football league too, and they handing out a full size WWE belt for the winner.
Shit.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to enter both of those leagues next year.
Hell yeah.
So it'd be cool. I think all 3 hosts need to be in that league next year.
I'm in.
So we'll be in there for sure. But keep us abreast of that knowledge. What's for dinner, Cain? What you eating right now?
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Tonight for dinner, I had some home-cooked meal. I cooked some smothered pork chops and onions and gravy with some homemade fried cabbage with bacon, you know what I'm saying, and some cornbread, rice and gravy, man. You know.
You had me at smothered.
As soon as you said smothered.
I'm going to post it on Twitter, man, but I took a picture of it, though. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, my shit was screaming.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, you know what? I was like, shit, once I eat this, I don't know if I should eat now or if I should wait till after the show because I think I'm going to be sleepy as a motherfucker after I eat this. You know what I'm saying? So I was y'all almost missed me tonight because I ate and I was like, shit. Let me wait till these motherfuckers call me so I can get back in it. You know what I mean? Because I almost fell asleep. Hey, that's real talk, man.
That's real food. That's what that is, man. That's real food.
Hey, if you eat some shit like that, I don't think you can do much else after that but go to sleep. You know?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry I didn't get out there this week, Blood, but I'm going to see you out there on the 24th. Daniel, one of our listeners, being kind enough to bless me with some Black Hole tickets. So Chain and I will be out there in the Black Hole.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, thank you very much, Dapper Dan. And I'll be seeing you soon. I'll see you this week out there in the community. And Cain, man, as always, it's really great having you on, Blood. And we'll talk to you very soon.
Hey, it's good to talk to y'all, brothers, man, and I'll talk to y'all next week, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, one love. Peace.
Peace.
Real quick, big ups to Cain. That was an awesome segment.
That was dope.
Real quick, Devin Shelton right now in the YouTube chat. He wants to know if we see the Raiders trading Connor Cook. When we first drafted him, I thought that was the play.
Right.
We're going to get a quarterback that has value. We're going to coach him up, throw him out in the preseason on showcase, and then trade him. But they put no stock into Cook. But now, considering Carr's injury history and Cook's development, we'd be a fool trading him this season.
Yeah, no. You hold on to that guy, especially if he's starting to show some development. I mean, you don't let go of him. You hold on to him to the end of the season. And I mean, you hold on to him probably to the end of his rookie contract, man.
I would think so. The only opportunity that could arise that would change that is if we get another Connor Cook type dude that slips into the fourth round, fifth round, and we get him, and maybe we ship off Cook and try to develop the new guy. A lot of it depends on what Carr can do this year. If Carr gets hurt again this year, Cook will not get traded.
Hell no.
That's for sure.
Hell no.
And that's a for sure right on.
I'm not going to repeat it. That's my shit.
All right, man. It's time for this. It's time for the Pillaging Podcast injury update.
It's that hot beat.
Yeah. I like that sound. I got a little bass in there, too.
It makes me want to break dance, bro.
Don't let me stop you, dog.
Build a circle around me, man. I'm about to get going right now.
Take those headphones off, though. They're expensive headphones, though. Even though they got tape on them and all that.
Even they got a crack running down the middle.
Sound good, though.
It sound real good.
Shout out to I. That's AI. If you want some real headphones and not some toy-ass Beats shit that you're paying way too much money for some compressed audio with super bass on them, nah, that ain't it. That ain't what's hitting.
That's right.
Spend $200, get yourself some IIs. They now come in customizable sets. They're modular headphones, meaning if something breaks, you can just buy the part and plug it right back in. The cable's modular. The cups are modular. You can even get different headsets for them. You can even get a padded Bluetooth headset for them. So when you're not at home, you can unplug those mothers and take them with you. These are the real deal studio headphones. They come in studio and DJ style headphone. Get yourself some. $200. I mean, who you kidding?
I mean, what? How much do you get? I've never even attempted to purchase some Beats, so I don't even know what they cost, but I know it's something ridiculous.
Forget about it.
What do Beats cost right now?
Too much money, dog.
Way too much, especially if you're not getting the same sound quality,
if
right?
If you're wearing Beats, I'm laughing at you, bro.
Come on, man.
You got sucked by Dre.
Hey, but you know what?
I love Dre.
Shout out to Dre for doing this damn thing and getting rich off of it, right?
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of that.
Not a good headphone. Everyone's just way too impressed by bass, man. Trust me, I know this. So injury update, man. Let's do this. Nick Morrow, questionable, did not play Friday. Breno Giacomini was also absent from Friday's exhibition opener, listed as questionable. Dwayne Harris, questionable. Seth Roberts, highly questionable on many levels. Arden Key was out with a tweaked ankle, but is expected back as early as Monday's practice.
All right.
All signs point to Arden Key playing this weekend. And last, but certainly, well, maybe least at this point, I don't know. I'm starting to fall off of this bandwagon. Obi Melifonwu also listed as questionable, dealing with a lower body flare-up. Quotes around flare-up. Could it be the knee? I don't know. And then absent from this week's list is Garyon Conley. He was not listed, so that's a good sign.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because
we want to see him out there, man.
If you dress out, you can't be listed. He dressed out Friday.
He did dress out. He was out there. He was catching balls. He was,
Yeah.
And you know what? He posted that on his social media too, and he expressed his frustration with his injuries. He's like, he even shared the sentiment. He's like, I had a college career of never having any injuries, and then my first two seasons having an injury that kept me out all season, and then having another injury. It's really frustrating. I can't wait to get out there. So, Conley, we're with you, man. We believe in you, and we hope you stay healthy and prove to everybody what you really are, man.
And Obi actually also released a statement on his injury. I want to play it right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, Obi didn't say a goddamn thing. Garyon Conley's out there catching balls. Obi's catching these nuts. Sorry, Obi. Sorry, Rory.
He needs milk. You see that?
Yeah, he needs milk. Hey, I'm sorry. Last year it was Reggie Nelson. I'm about to bash hard on Obi this year. Unless you get it together, bro.
Hey. Get it together.
So, we're about to get Chase on here right now. So we're going to take another short pause and so return to Chase on tape. And then we're going to come back and wrap this up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, and we're back. We are back. This is everybody's favorite segment from yesteryear. This is Chase on Tape.
Yeah.
We're joined right now by Raiders Unsung. That's his YouTube channel. You should definitely go check him out because he's already back releasing film footage. This is Chase, man. Welcome back to the show, brother. It's really good to have you back on here.
Hey, my man. Thanks for having me. Always happy to be on.
Absolutely. It's our man with the bird's eye view. You had a really nice view of the game on Friday. Tell us, what were some of your initial takeaways from this preseason matchup?
Man, well, we all know we got to be careful before we jump to conclusions after, one preseason game, especially when you get into schematics and all that. But before we even get into players, I think a couple things, jumped out right away. Defensively, we were blitzing like crazy for a preseason game. I'm sure you guys noticed that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were blitzing safeties all over the place. Carl Joseph, Nick Nelson came on a blitz and batted down a pass. I thought it was really interesting how we were playing with the pressures and showing a couple of double A gap blitz looks. That was pretty cool to me because it's just so different from anything we've done in the past. So that caught my eye on defense. Offensively, man, I remember coming on your show last year, right? And every couple weeks we'd talk about the play action pass. Right, and to be like, hey, we did 7 play actions this week. Like, man, maybe we're going to start using the play action pass a little more. I think it just from one preseason game, from getting down to a training camp practice the other week, I think it's really obvious that the play action pass is going to be a huge part of this offense.
We opened the game. We opened the game with the play action pass.
Exactly. I think we're getting a really good idea of how our offense is going to be run this year. This is an offense that's going to want to pound the ball. We're gonna give it to the 5 different running backs we have right now, and then we're gonna work that play action off of those outside wide zones. We're gonna see a lot of bootlegs, hopefully leading to some big plays. And one more thing that jumped off: the motions. Did you guys see how many shifts and motions we were doing offensively?
A lot.
That 60-yard run by Marshawn, that was a motion by Amari, man, coming across.
Yeah, exactly. And if you watch that replay, you see a defensive back running with Coop to the other side of the field. with his back turned to the run. That's essentially canceling out one defensive player right there.
Yep.
And we did a good job of that, and I think we're going to see a lot of that under Gruden this year.
What happened to playing vanilla in the preseason? Because I felt like we showed a lot. There must be a lot left.
Oh, I feel like that was vanilla, bro.
That's crazy.
That was vanilla, so that just lets you know, right?
Damn.
Lets you know.
Yeah, well, it's going to be really interesting to see what we do this week because we're going up against the team that we open up the season against.
Right.
So that's I think if we're going to see vanilla, that's going to be this upcoming weekend.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So let's take a pause here from talking about the game because the next few questions I'm going to ask you about really come out of this, and this is your YouTube channel. So I want you to tell the guys what your YouTube channel is. Definitely plug your Twitter. We need to get you more followers on there, Chase. I'm going to tell you guys right now listening, Chase is like a diamond in the rough on Twitter. If you love like the film breakdowns, the GIFs of plays and stuff like that, I'm hooked on that stuff.
Hell yeah.
You need to follow this guy on Twitter. So tell us what your YouTube is and tell us what the Twitter handle is and talk about what it is you're trying to do there. And, let him know kind of. Also, by the way, Chase, I'm proud of our boy Chase because he graduated this year.
That's right.
Our young man's grown up.
Yeah.
And so talk a little bit about that too.
Hey, man, thanks. I'm just glad to be done with school. It took me like 7 years to get through at Cal State East Bay. So I took my time, finally finished that up. So that's feeling good. Now I have more time to focus on, film and doing these sort of little projects on my own.
Me and Che are proud of you, but we're very happy also that you're leaving the house. We get more room to ourselves now, and it's nice around here. It's quiet.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, much appreciated, guys. On YouTube, you can just look up Oakland Raiders Unsung Heroes, and the video should pop up. On Twitter, if you just look up Raiders Unsung, you'll go straight to my Twitter page. Basically, the plan this year, once the regular season starts, I'd actually like to be getting 2 videos out per week.
Nice.
So I'm going to try. The goal is to get the first video out within like 36 hours after each game. And the first video each week is going to be a lot like the one I just put out yesterday, in that it's just going to be breaking down, certain performances, key performances that maybe, a lot of people didn't notice just on the first viewing of the game. So that'll be the first video. There probably won't be any audio over it. It's just going to be clips highlighting certain players and plays. And then I'm hoping to finish out the week before the next game with a more schematic type video where I break down something that I noticed on the All 22 tape, where we could talk about something a little more in depth.
Nice.
So that's kind of the plan going into the season.
And fingers crossed, because last year NFL.com, they did a really good job of getting those all 22 tapes out early. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they're out a day early, which was really nice. I know you, Chase. I know you must appreciate that. It gives you a little bit more time. But you also went to Scouting Academy this offseason. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. I'm actually still in it right now. I have another 2 weeks or something like that. I have a little bit of time left in the Scouting Academy. And man, it's been an experience, man. It's been really cool.
Just in a nutshell, what have you learned there?
Man, well, they do a really good job of providing us with a lot of material to learn a lot of different specifics on playing certain positions. When you enter the Scouting Academy, you pick 3 to 5 positions that you really want to focus on, and then they essentially teach you how NFL teams study the tape for those positions. They teach you the right verbiage to use when you're writing scouting reports, and for each position there's 10 specific traits that NFL teams look for in grade, and so we learn all those traits and how to really dissect each position. It's really cool, man.
That's great. So I've run across a few people that have always been on the fence about joining this. Would you recommend this to people that are into that?
I do. The only caveat to that is you have to have time, to get the most out of that course, because you're putting in almost $1,000, to sign up in the first place.
Yeah.
If you want to get the most out of this course, you need to be able to put in, 3 hours a day, or 2 to 3 hours a day at least.
Okay.
And even that's just scratching the surface. I mean, you get out of the course what you put into the course.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and these guys at the pro level, man, they're crunching tape like hours, into the wee hours.
Right.
So let's move forward with this. All that. Thanks for setting the table there. And again, make sure you go check this guy out on YouTube. I can already hear people subscribing to your account right now.
Click, click.
I can hear the clicks. Yep. In this week's film breakdown, this week, the one that you just put out, I think you just put it out last night. 2 players really stood out to me. One of them, and I already talked about this guy, is a guy that I've been excited about as just a key, like a cog in the wheel. Definitely, I would call him an unsung hero, and that's Antonio Hamilton. And the other guy is Marquel Lee. These are 2 guys I've been high on since last year. Hamilton made a few plays Friday night. Lee seemed to be all over the ball and actually graded out as their highest-ranked defensive player. What did you like, and what did you see in these 2 guys?
Man, well, starting with Hamilton, he's a young corner. I think he's just a hair under 6 feet. He's the sort of guy that, us fans, we haven't really thought about. And, he was on the team last year. We haven't thought or expected anything from Hamilton. So it's kind of a nice surprise when you see guys like him perform like they did on Friday. What I noticed with Antonio Hamilton was he looked like a good man cover corner, or at least he was playing like it Friday. He had some good plant and drive. He broke up an out route with a really good plant and drive for some good change of direction. He showed ability to find the ball and reach in there and disrupt, wide receivers when the ball's getting there. I was pretty impressed with Antonio Hamilton, and I'd like to see if he could keep that up. Maybe even against, better competition. Let's see if he could get in more with the 2s, instead of towards the end of the game. But, and then Marquel Lee or Marquel Lee, I don't know either. I have to go with that first name. But Marquel Lee is a very good box defender. His floor is at least, just a good run defender in that front 7. So what I love about Marquel Lee is how he takes on contact. Yep. If you look at his base, he always has a good, strong, steady, balanced base. Both feet on the ground, right down the middle of that lead blocker or ball carrier. He takes on blocks aggressive. He doesn't really miss tackles. The only thing we need to see from Lee is if he could be an every down guy. Right now I feel pretty confident in saying he could be a good run defender on early downs. He's got to show that he could stay on the field on 3rd down and, cover some tight ends and, find some, recognize how patterns develop and, all that sort of stuff. So I'm excited with both those guys, man.
Yeah, you're right on there. Marquel. I hear both, man. I'm just going to go Marquel. I see Marquel. Not only does he eat up the run, but there was a play that was in your video where he actually engages in a block right in the middle of the trench, gets off that block, changes direction, and still finds the ball carrier. Thought that was really impressive. Yeah. And then another play that really showed off Paul Gunther's scheming is you got Bruce Irvin shooting to the inside to pick up a double team and basically create a jam right there on the left-hand side of the line. And Marquel shading all the way to the outside, picks up the ball carrier right at or maybe just behind the line of scrimmage. Just all around a great defensive scheming, and Marquel just executing perfectly on that. And the whole time, shoulders squared up, sidestepping with that shuffle, never turns his hips, and engages, boom, straight down to the ball carrier. Very solid tackle. I thought that was great.
He's really good at, and a lot of times these young linebackers, if they're good at taking on contact, that's sort of just their starting point. But Lee is able to take on those blocks, move through traffic, and like you said, still track the ball carrier. The play that you were talking about where he disengages and then is able to catch up with the ball carrier. I mean, that's he covered some ground while moving through traffic and disengaging. That's all a promising sign right there.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. So I'm really looking forward to more of these videos, more of this content. I know you got a lot of opportunities coming up this year. We're hoping to get some of that content over on pj4f.com. But if, regardless of where you want to pick up Chase's material, make sure you subscribe to him on YouTube because I got a feeling it's all going to land there. Absolutely. So help this guy out, man. Follow him on Twitter if you can, at Raiders Unsung. And Chase, man, you're a solid dude. We're really grateful to have you back on the show.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man, I'm thrilled to be back on, man. I'm just glad football is back.
That's right.
I'm thankful for you guys letting me back on, man.
Hell yeah. Chase, you like Indian food, bro?
Not at all. Not at all, man.
Damn. Because I know where
Does
you
not sit well with me.
I know where you stay at. They got a lot of nice Indian restaurants. I want to say next time I'm out there, we're gonna get some curry. But I'll let you pick the spot. Then I'll let you pick the spot. Maybe we'll link up with Cain and go get a cheeseburger or something. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Sounds like a plan.
But I know you work right on game day. Are you still working on game day?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be doing it till they leave. I'm gonna be trying to enjoy every minute. Yeah, I'll still be there.
Can you tell our new listeners exactly what it is you do with the team? Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I'm allowed to talk about it. I might get a phone call at some point. But I work on the stats crew. Basically, it's a crew of like 8 people. We're responsible for just keeping track of essentially everything that goes on throughout the game and logging it into the computers in a quick time frame so that it could get out to the TV stations to, be showing off everyone's stats from the game.
Wow.
And
no pressure.
I'm lucky because I actually have probably the least stressful job on the crew for the most part, because my role is just backup, where I'm not even messing with the computers. I'm just writing everything on, pad and paper, with a pen, old fashioned, and I'm only needed if the system breaks down and we lose connection or something, and then the pressure's on. But that hasn't happened as much in recent years, so it's a pretty chill job, man.
Dope, man. So here at the Pillaging Podcast, we got you covered. We're partnered with Pro Football Focus.
That's right.
At the end of the line, and we're partnered with Chase right here at where it all begins.
At the front line.
At the front line. So from front to back, we got you covered. We got your stats every week. Make sure you tune into the Pillaging Podcast, and make sure you subscribe to Chase's channel. Chase, I got notifications turned on for your channel. I'm on that immediately. Immediately.
Hey, man. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. We'll talk to you again real soon, huh?
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm in.
All right, man. Have a good night, and thanks again.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night, too. Take care.
Peace. You too, brother.
All right. That was good. A little noisy phone call. It's not really Chase. It's the Google Hangout system. Yeah. It's weird. It picks up background noise, and it kind of does a feedback loop where it gets a little bit louder. But overall, not too bad. We're not going to blame Chase for that. We've heard it on other calls as well. Bro, it's almost time to get out of here.
It is.
This epic show. We're running about 137 minutes right now.
It's a good quality show, man.
This is like a Kevin Costner movie at this point.
It's Dancing with Wolves or what?
Yeah. There was a minute that guy only took 3-hour rolls. He might show up any minute now.
He even made some 3-hour rolls for himself, bro.
He did. I don't know. It's either going to be him or Daniel Day-Lewis walking through that door pretty soon.
Hey, Daniel Day-Lewis, man. Gangster. He comes in with the gangsters of New York, bro. That's out. I'm cool with that. That's cool, man.
He's going to drink your milkshake. Let's do our shout-outs, man.
Shout-outs!
Shout out to The Only Nation. They're a big Twitter account. We really appreciate that follow. The Only Nation, that's Raider Nation, you already know. Shout out to Monster Mash calling in this week. Dude's also really big into like action figures and stuff, so follow him on Twitter. It's pretty cool. I'm a collector, so I like it. Shout out to Marin Raider. Shout out to Stackanova. Also make sure you follow him. Again, dropping knowledge. We already told you. Silver and Black Bum. Stephen Beach. Steve Brock, 1977. Hey, that's when I was born. Jay Hearn, 714. Cool dude. I know you, Jay Hearn. I hope you're listening. If you're not listening, I'm going to come find you, dog. NFL Rough Draft. Raider Ramirez, 2. Showtime, 4. Antoine Herrera. Rev K, 78. Mr. Marco Rizzo. Funny how? There's a question mark, so I got to say that. Tony Lopez, Twitty Two-Tone. Andrew Stevens. Arthur Carey, 1005. 619 Raider for Life, representing down there in the former land of the Chargers. Shout out to Jackie B, Kerry Lackey Law, Raiders Hammer, Steve Times Fountain 3, Sanjit T. He's also got a YouTube channel. Check him out. Eric Cheshire, Oscar, Jeremy Seals, Jerome Blanco 3, Raul Gill, Big Easy, Mob and Stone, 51 John D, Bullsweek, Tucson Mike 520, Lauren Weir, Kobe Gels, The Kid Cassidy, Richie, I need a new name. Yeah, you need a new name if that's your name. But he's a good follow too. Check him out. Stephen Murphy, Leave the Boots On. I'm with that, bro. Sometimes you got to leave the shoes on.
Sometimes you got to leave the boots on, man.
Honey, don't take those off. In Al We Trust, Ninja Trav, Raider 89, Issacul Bridge, Ray Roth 09. I'm not Axl Rose. No shit, you're not Axl Rose. Raider Davey, James Speck, GG version 69.exe. Found you on Twitter. Rather, you found us. Original Pillager right there. GG knows his football. Brian, I don't know how you say your name. Shay, Seay. Brian C. Shay. Benji K's, Serape Sampson, Stuck in the Grind, that's stuck with 2 C's, Ross Rainier, Troy Simpson, Crow 2550, Sudden 75, Jason Q, Mike Gorelli, thanks for the stats, man. Shout out to Mike Gorelli over there at PFF Oak. Make sure you follow him on Twitter too. Cool dude, Raider fan. El Fumico, Gavin Bruderer. Also, thanks for the, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but thanks for the follow on YouTube. I see you just subscribed. Raiderette Forever. And my favorite name of the week, Macho Man Raider Savage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of followers,
That
bro.
was a freaking paragraph, bro.
Shit. You're sweating over there.
I am.
You're sweating, bro.
I've been sweating, though. I'm glad you just now noticed.
That ain't nothing new, but you were sweating on those.
So I mentioned it. We're about to get out of here, but I mentioned this at the front of the show. We did leave Out of Pocket Sports Network. There's no bad blood there.
No, none at all.
We all kind of just decided that it was time for us to move on. You will hear some familiar voices if this new venture takes off for us. We're in the middle right now. Our pirate ship's just out on the water right now. We're just out there.
We're just trying to get to the next level, bro.
We're just trying to find our next port.
That's it.
I think we may have it. I'm not going to make an official announcement. I'm just teasing right now because I don't want to jinx anything. But we're in with some good folks, some folks I think you're really going to be happy that we partnered with.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a good opportunity for you as fans and for the show. We're just trying to bring you more Raiders content all the time.
That's it.
And some more to be said on that later. I may have some details next week. I may not. But hang in there. We do have T-shirts. They are not available online just yet. I'm working with the boys over at Creative Media Design Studio to see if we can get them up there. If not, you might be able to order from me directly. I'm not much of a shipping warehouse. I leave my house at 9 o'clock in the morning. I get back at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
That's my work. But I do have Fridays off. And that might be the new shipping day. But I do have a life. So speaking of life, next week is my birthday.
That's right.
We won't have a show next week.
No, we won't.
No,
we won't.
I say this now. I don't expect much out of this next preseason game. As Chase said, we do play the Rams. I'm not saying it's not important. There's going to be a lot of good film there to watch. A lot of guys fighting for spots, but we will not have a show next week. This will be our last break probably until about October.
Yeah.
The end of October.
Yeah.
About Halloween time.
We're going to go strong. We're going to hit it strong.
We're going to hit it strong, and we're going to do our best to at least get you some content that weekend in October that I'm out. Either we'll do a show early, or we'll get another best of segment out there for some of you guys that might have missed some of the better segments. There's some good ones, man.
There is.
I can already think right now. Obviously, Phil Filipiano.
Yep.
The Jim Jackson interview was spectacular.
Great.
Rory's always been good.
Yep.
Sean that came on from the Ramble. Another good interview.
We had a lot of good interviews.
Ray Aspuria.
It might actually be hard to make a best of episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna really have to it's
gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a tough call, man.
But maybe
and don't get mad if we don't pick you.
Maybe when we get in the studio, maybe we should just invest time in making 2 of those. Because we need to have something.
It's a good call.
Yeah,
it's a good call.
We need to have some in the chamber because sometimes you don't know when you're going to miss a show.
That's right.
Life comes at you fast, like Ferris Bueller says.
Definitely does.
If you don't stop to take a look around every once in a while, you could miss it. Which means you could miss a show here and there. So we want to remind you to subscribe on YouTube. Click the little bell for notifications. And make sure you subscribe wherever podcasts are found. We are out there. We ask that you rate and please leave a review. We love reading your reviews. And the ratings definitely help. It's pushing us up the charts right now. And we've been climbing, man. More ears on the show means more of a reason every week for us to bring the best content for you. We look at more listeners as like a challenge. Like, we got to be on our game.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So we appreciate all that. We appreciate the love. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Make sure you download the official Pillaging app on iTunes, the iOS App Store, or Android Google Play Store. Che, you got anything before we leave?
Oh, man. Hey, listen, we're gaining followers every single week. Even my personal Twitter, we're getting followers on the podcast Twitter. We get followers on the Instagram. We just appreciate everybody's love, man. All the love and support. We get messages, and It kind of just blows our minds because, like I said before, Kenny said it before. Like, we're just a couple of dudes.
Yeah.
We'd be doing this shit if you guys weren't listening. We'd be talking about these same things if you guys weren't listening. So the fact that you guys are supporting us the way that you do, man, it really, really means a lot, man. So, any way that you guys can help us out, follow us, like us, whatever it is, man, we appreciate it all, man.
And like I said, if you can, $1 a show, we appreciate that. If you can't do it, I understand too. Just do what you can. Hit us up, man. Talk to me. That makes me feel good too.
Yeah.
It's like the work that you and I do in our day jobs, man. I always say we get 2 paychecks. We get the one with our boss's name on it, and we get the one when people show us gratitude. That's true. That feels good, man.
That's the truth.
That's money in the bank for me.
Yep.
Because I walk around and I feel good about myself, and that's the most important thing in this world that we live in. Also, a lot of you ask me, when can I call on the show? You can call in anytime you want. My phone don't ring. It goes straight to the mail service. It's not my personal phone number, so don't act like you know me. Although when
I'm about to call Kenny right now. Hold on 1 second.
But give us a call, 408-909-PJFF. You can leave a message anytime. As long as it's Raiders related, we're cool. If you just want to say what's up, that's cool too. We try to get every call on the show. As long as the sound quality's there and we can understand what you're saying, we're going to give you some shine. Head over to pj4f.com/shop. You can get our old t-shirt. Is still up there. It's the black and white shirt. I should say the silver and black shirt. Right now we got the heather gray with the brand new crispy Pillaging Podcast logo. Chase showing it off right now on the YouTube. Really nice. And download the app. I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Chick.
And we out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Like a freight train coming, you're blowing the town. Like a diesel motor, you never shut down. With your pistons pumping, you're mowing them down. It's a sight to see, they all lay their money down. When you're gone, mama, hell, you ain't acting right. When you're gone, mama, I can still see your eyes.